Chapter 1202. Thank you, Brother E, for lending me a place to cultivate in seclusion. I've gained a lot. Ning Cheng expressed his gratitude as soon as the two of them sat down. Ning Cheng had gained a lot after perfecting the mysterious yellow bead and refining the creation divine spear. Esau quickly waved his hand and said, compared to Brother Ning's great kindness, these things are not worth mentioning at all. I thought Brother Ning would have to cultivate in seclusion for a while, but I didn't expect you to come out so soon. Is it because of the Deva decay? Ning Cheng hesitated for a while and finally decided to tell Esau about the creation divine spear's tribulation transcendence. Esau was a person worth befriending, so there was no need to hide it. Brother E, I'm not the one who transcended the decay. It's the spear on my back, Ning Cheng said as he patted the creation divine spear on his back. Esau stared at the creation divine spear on Ning Cheng's back with wide eyes. This was the first time he had heard of a low-grade divine weapon that could transcend the decay. He had never heard of a Dharma treasure that could transcend the decay, let alone a low-grade divine weapon. After a while, Esau heaved a sigh of relief and said cautiously, Brother Ning, although I don't know what's so strange about the spear you refined, a Dharma treasure that can transcend the decay is definitely not weaker than a connate Dharma treasure. Try not to tell others about this Dharma treasure. Even if Brother Ning has extraordinary means, there are countless experts in the endless void. Ning Cheng said gratefully, thank you for reminding me, Brother E. I believe you're a worthy friend, which is why I told you. In addition to bidding farewell to you, I also came here to inquire about the location of heavens beyond. Esau's tone became solemn. Brother Ning, if it's not particularly important, I suggest you don't go there. Esau's words made sense. Ning Cheng had caused such a big commotion during his cultivation. Although he was safe and sound on the heavenly Union planet, it did not mean that he would be safe in heavens beyond. Esau also knew that Ning Cheng had a Dharma treasure, the 9-Dao sky-suppressing pagoda. Besides, Esau did not recognize Ning Cheng's spear that could transcend the decay, but it did not mean that no one in heavens beyond knew about it. Ning Cheng asked in confusion, Brother E, I heard that there are no experts in heavens beyond and there are very few Dao integration sacred emperors. Why can't I go there? Ning Cheng had asked Xiao Qiandong about the fact that there were no experts in the beyond of heaven and earth. To be exact, Xiao Qiandong had accidentally revealed this. While the two of them were talking, Xiao Qiandong mentioned the beyond of heaven and earth unintentionally. He also mentioned that the beyond of heaven and earth had a lot of resources but very few powerhouses. Even Dao integration holy emperors rarely went there. Previously, Ning Cheng had thought that this was an unintentional conversation. Now that he knew the location of the beyond of heaven and earth, he naturally knew that Xiao Qiandong had said this intentionally. The reason was very simple. It was indirectly telling him that heavens beyond was very safe. The location where Dao Lord Taichu Li Jianqing had asked him to set up the teleportation array was most likely the beyond of heaven and earth. He had told Ning Cheng in advance that there were no experts in the heavens beyond of heaven and earth to dispel his concerns. There are very few experts in the beyond of heaven and earth. Esau looked at Ning Cheng in a daze and asked. Before Ning Cheng could answer, he self-deprecatingly explained, indeed, 99% of the people think that there are very few experts in heavens beyond. Upon hearing this, Ning Cheng knew that the beyond of heaven and earth was not simple. He hurriedly asked, why do you say that? Esau sighed. If I hadn't reached the perfected Dao integration realm and even touched the edge of the creation realm, perhaps I wouldn't have known the importance of the beyond of heaven and earth. The beyond of heaven and earth is a place where many planes intersect. It's bustling and lively and there are indeed very few experts there. It's rare to even see a Dao integration holy emperor. It can be said that on the surface, the beyond of heaven and earth might not necessarily have as many true experts as the heavenly Union planet. Did you meet a top-notch Dao integration expert, Brother E? Ning Cheng asked in confusion. Esau looked up at the void in the distance. I reckon that I didn't see a Tao integration expert but a true third step almighty. I saw two experts fighting in the void. I reckon that the two of them had a rift in the beyond of heaven and earth, so they arranged to fight in the void. I happened to be watching the battle from the sidelines. That kind of valiant power almost tore the void apart. At that time, I was already at the perfected Tao integration realm and nothing happened to my cultivation partner, Shu Rui. It can be said that my strength was at its peak. Given my strength, I was watching from afar and my mind was still unstable from the aftermath of the battle. That majestic starry sky was so powerful that I still remember it clearly. I'm afraid it's not something a second step Tao validation Holy Emperor can do. Third step Tao validation. Creation realm. They didn't notice you watching from the sidelines? Ning Qing exclaimed in surprise. Isa said in a somewhat lonely tone, I'm sure they saw me watching from the sidelines, but they probably didn't take me seriously. After the two of them fought and left, I hurriedly went to the beyond of heaven and earth. I went there to find treasures of heaven and earth to help my cultivation partner, Shu Rui, attain primordial chaos. The beyond of heaven and earth attracts countless people because there are all kinds of treasures of heaven and earth there. I stayed in the beyond of heaven and earth to participate in all kinds of auctions. By chance, I saw one of the two experts who were fighting back then. Brother Ning, do you know what he was doing? Even Ning Qing could not help but ask, what was he doing? Isa said with a trace of lingering fear, he was setting up a stall outside an inconspicuous market. I almost thought I was seeing things. Later on, that expert smiled at me with a meaningful smile. I hurriedly bought a lot of things from his stall and left in a hurry without even returning the price. At this point, Isa sighed and said, I originally thought that my strength was considered powerful in the beyond of heaven and earth. Even if someone was more powerful than me, they wouldn't be able to suppress me. After that incident, I realized that the beyond of heaven and earth is definitely not that simple. In order to obtain materials for Shu Rui's advancement, I had to stay in the beyond of heaven and earth for 1,000 years. During these thousands of years, I learned something more obscure. There are many top-notch experts living in seclusion in the beyond of heaven and earth. The purpose of these experts might be for the safety of their respective planes or for something else. They never openly declare their strength in the beyond of heaven and earth. Even if the major forces of the beyond of heaven and earth fought, they never intervened. Ning Qing gasped. There were so many experts hiding in the dark in the beyond of heaven and earth. Li Jianqing was simply courting death if he wanted to set up a teleportation array in the beyond of heaven and earth. How could there be no experts hiding in such an important place like the beyond of heaven and earth? If Li Jianqing was setting up a teleportation array somewhere else, he would help. If it was really the beyond of heaven and earth, he could not blame him for not helping. Ning Qing did not feel guilty at all for not helping Li Jianqing set up a teleportation array in the beyond of heaven and earth. Back then, Xiao Qiandong had been caught between a rock and a hard place. If Qing Lan had not suddenly appeared, he would definitely have suffered a great loss under Ao Beijiang's hands. Obviously, Li Jianqing was not sincere in cooperating with him. In other words, he just wanted him to help set up a teleportation array. Thank you, Brother Yi, but I still have to go to the beyond of heaven and earth. I'll be more careful then, Ning Qing said gratefully. Jiang Man and Mu Yueping had specially rushed to the beyond of heaven and earth for the sake of the breathing soil. Not to mention that Jiang Man and his wife were friends, even if they had no relationship, Ning Qing would still go to the beyond of heaven and earth for this reason. Isa clearly understood Ning Qing's character. After listening to Ning Qing's words, he no longer tried to persuade him. Instead, he took out 2 jade slips and handed them to Ning Qing while saying, Brother Ning, I've already engraved these. One is the 2 routes to the beyond of heaven and earth, and the other is to the 5 realms void city. Ning Qing hurriedly took the jade slip and asked, which is closer to the beyond of heaven and earth or the 5 realms void city? Ning Cheng did not doubt that Esau knew that he needed the void route to the 5 realms. Since the old fart knew about this, it was not surprising that Esau knew about it as well. Esau had obviously studied the distance between these two places. As soon as Ning Cheng asked, he answered, "The beyond of heaven and earth and the 5 realms void city are very far from the heavenly union planet. In comparison, the beyond of heaven and earth is much closer. It's almost a quarter of the distance to the 5 realms void city. If Brother Ning wants to go to the beyond of heaven and earth and the 5 realms void city, I suggest you go to the beyond of heaven and earth first. It's not because it's closer, but because after you go to the beyond of heaven and earth, you can take the teleportation array to the Jade River planet in the void city at the edge of the beyond of heaven and earth. When you arrive at the Jade River planet, there are teleportation arrays to the various void cities. This way, it's more convenient to go back to the 5 realms void city than to the 5 realms void city directly from here. I've written these routes in the Jade slip." Ning Cheng had initially been hesitant about whether he should go back or go to the beyond of heaven and earth first. Now that Esau had said that it would be more convenient to go back to the 5 realms void city, Ning Cheng decided to go there first. 3 days later, Ning Cheng and Esau bade farewell and left the heavenly union planet. The old fart was afraid of death, so he followed Ning Cheng when he left the heavenly union planet. On the other hand, Chasing Bull and the old fart were very close. The two of them had been wandering around the heavenly union star city for a year, but they still looked as if they regretted not meeting each other earlier. This made Ning Cheng very speechless. That Esau is really useless. The heavenly union planet is a place with a great reputation. Esau can't even build a teleportation array, let alone fly away. On the starry sky wheel, the old fart muttered. Big Brother Ping Ding is right. Apart from the large number of people, there are not many fun places in the heavenly union planet. Chasing Bull quickly echoed. Just call me when you arrive at the Jia Tua Void City. Ning Cheng ignored the old fart and Chasing Bull and went straight into the mysterious yellow bead to check the world. The Jia Tua Void City was the closest void city to the heavenly union star city, where one could teleport to other places. Yes, Master. I will definitely call Master as soon as possible, Chasing Bull quickly said. Chapter 1203. The endless void was too vast and boundless. Even though Ning Cheng's strength was at the primordial chaos realm and his spiritual consciousness could penetrate the boundary, he still had to use a teleportation array. If he wanted to travel from one place to another in the void, he had to use a teleportation array. It wasn't that he didn't want to tear the boundary and walk around. Given his current strength, he couldn't use his spiritual consciousness to directly penetrate several boundaries or even the outside world and then tear the void directly. In the vast void, the only thing that was worthless was time. Ning Cheng and the others constantly switched teleportation arrays and teleported from one void city to another. 2 years had passed while flying between the teleportation arrays and the void city. Moreover, the old fogey controlled the starry sky wheel, which saved a lot of time. If Chasing Bull controlled the starry sky wheel, the time would probably double. On this day, Ning Cheng was studying the blacksmithing Tao in the cabin of the starry sky wheel when Chasing Bull excitedly sent him a voice transmission. Master, we're about to reach heavens beyond. Although there were teleportation arrays in heavens beyond, they were rarely available to guests. More than 90% of the cultivators heading to heavens beyond had to first teleport to the nearest void city, the remote cliff void city. After arriving at the remote cliff void city, they would take a flying Dharma treasure and enter heavens beyond directly. Ning Cheng quickly put away the things in his hands and walked out of the cabin of the starry sky wheel. When the old fogey saw Ning Cheng, he quickly stepped forward and greeted him as a senior before retreating to the side. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept out and saw the outline of a huge star city suspended in the void in the distance. Even with his powerful spiritual consciousness that could penetrate the boundary, he could only see the outline. Even though it was just the outline, he could feel the vast vicissitudes of life. There was no immortal charm aura, but it gave people a heavy feeling. Like the heavenly Union Star City, Heavens Beyond was also a star city. A star city was a planet with only one city. The vague outline of Heavens Beyond was like Earth. Many star cities and void cities in the void did not have an atmosphere. Ning Qing saw a thick atmosphere in Heavens Beyond. What surprised Ning Qing even more was that Heavens Beyond's planet protecting array did not have one layer, but many layers. He did not know how many defense arrays were hidden in it. Not to mention that there was still a boundary separating them. Even if there was no boundary separating them, Ning Qing did not think that he would be able to see how many layers this defensive array had. The beyond of heaven and earth was indeed different. After getting close to the beyond of heaven and earth, there were more and more flying Dharma treasures around. This place was like a general dock, and countless flying Dharma treasures from all directions were flocking there. Ning Qing put away the starry sky wheel and landed on the void square of the outermost layer of the mysterious yellow heavens beyond heaven with the old fogey chasing bull. Ning Qing thought that since there were so many people in heavens beyond, they would definitely have to pay divine crystals to apply for a jade card or something. After arriving there, he realized that he did not need to do anything to enter the beyond of heaven and earth. He just needed to queue up and enter in an orderly manner. Unlike most void cities, the entrance to the beyond of heaven and earth was not real. Instead, it was a void teleportation array door. When Ning Qing saw this void transmission array entrance, he immediately understood that if he arranged this array entrance, he would not be able to arrange it so perfectly. This void transfer array gate did not require any god crystals at all. Instead, it completely absorbed the weak god spiritual energy in the void. Using Earth's technology to describe it, it was an energy-saving product. What was more powerful was that Ning Qing could see that this teleportation array was at least an interrealm teleportation array or even a plane teleportation array. It seemed that this was not the only teleportation array to enter the beyond of heaven and earth. Every plane should have such a void array gate. After stepping into the void array gate, his body trembled slightly before he landed on the ground again. Soon, the old fogey and chasing bull also appeared beside Ning Qing. The three of them still landed on a square. 5 huge words with Tao runes were suspended in the air of the square, beyond of heaven and earth. Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness swept back again, but he could not see anything outside the beyond of heaven and earth. Ning Qing did not dare to use his spiritual consciousness to forcibly break the restriction unless he did not want to live anymore. This also made him understand why the beyond of heaven and earth used the void array gate to teleport cultivators in and out. The defense arrays in this place were layered, and it was simply too difficult to walk in or out of the beyond of heaven and earth. Not knowing if Jiang Man and his wife had reached the beyond of heaven and earth, Ning Qing first took out his communication pearl and sent a message to Jiang Man, "Seniors, are you new here? Let's go to our Heavens Beyond hotel. The service there is definitely thoughtful and will give you a feeling of home." Before Ning Qing and the other two could walk out of the square, an Eternal Realm cultivator appeared beside Ning Qing and spoke in an exaggerated tone. Since the old fogey and Ning Qing were here, it was not his turn to speak. He did not think that Ning Qing would stop. He had been with Ning Qing for some time and had some understanding of Ning Qing. Given this senior's personality, most of the time, he would make his own decision to find a rest stop instead of listening to others and agreeing to it. Hotel? Why not call it a restaurant or rest stop? Ning Qing asked in confusion. The Eternal Realm cultivator smiled apologetically and said, "In the beyond of heaven and earth, a restaurant, rest stop and a hotel all have the same meaning. These places also exist, but a hotel is more imposing. I guarantee that senior will not be disappointed." Ning Qing nodded. "In that case, then you can take me to see your hotel." The cultivator quickly said, "Senior, please come with me." In just half an incense stick worth of time, the cultivator brought Ning Qing and the other two to a dilapidated divine herb building. Just when Ning Qing still felt puzzled, the cultivator awkwardly pointed to an inconspicuous sign above the medicinal building and said, "Our hotel is above this medicinal building." Ning Cheng did not know whether to laugh or cry as he looked at the floating words on the second floor of the medicinal building, "Heavens Beyond Grand Hotel." The old fogey stared at the eternal cultivator fiercely. If Ning Cheng wasn't here, he would have taught this ant a lesson. This fellow actually dared to make fun of him, brought him to such a broken place, and even called it a hotel. Ning Cheng's gaze fell on a tall building across the street. The words "Heavens Beyond Rest Stop" were floating above the tall building. The Heavens Beyond Rest Stop was a real restaurant. Compared to the Heavens Beyond Hotel, it looked like an underground hotel. "You're quite good at doing business. Help me find out if there are any good treasures in the beyond of heaven and earth for me. Even if it's a stone or a piece of soil, as long as it contains top-grade treasures, you can bring it to me at the Heavens Beyond Rest Stop. I will give you a satisfactory reward and reward you with a falling scar Dao pill. Take these spirit crystals as a tip for leading the way." After saying that, Ning Cheng threw a storage bag to the eternal cultivator before turning around and walking towards the Heavens Beyond Rest Stop with the old fogey and Chasing Bull. Chasing Bull didn't react and asked from the side, "Master, this kid dared to trick us into coming here. What kind of business is this?" The old fogey showed a smile, "This kid didn't cheat us. Maybe there really is an empty room on the second floor of the medicinal building. In fact, he didn't want us to stay in the hotel on the second floor of the medicinal building, but in the Heavens Beyond Rest Stop opposite. Since he was the one who brought them here and wanted to change places, of course, they would give him some tips. What he earned was the tips. Of course, this is Senior Ning's magnanimity. If it were me, I would have slapped him to death." When the eternal cultivator brought Ning Cheng here, Ning Cheng immediately understood what he meant. He also understood that this low-level cultivator wanted to earn some spirit crystals. Not everyone was as easygoing as him and would even take out some spirit crystals as a tip for changing places. As the old fogey said, once he met someone with a bad temper, he would most likely slap them to death. Since this fellow could come up with such an idea to earn tips by leading the way, it showed that he had a very flexible mind and was also very familiar with the mysterious yellow heavens beyond. It was the right time for such a person to inquire about the breath soil. "Senior, please wait." Ning Cheng turned around, but the eternal cultivator unexpectedly called out again. Ning Cheng frowned slightly. If this fellow wanted them to stay in the Heavens Beyond Grand Hotel, it would mean that he didn't know what was good for him. The old fogey's eyes narrowed as he stared at the eternal cultivator and spoke up in a cold voice, "Be content with what you have. If you talk any more, this emperor will slap you to death." The eternal cultivator shivered and quickly spoke up, "No, this junior doesn't want senior to stay in the Heavens Beyond Grand Hotel. It's about the top-notch treasures that senior mentioned. This junior knows a place that has them." Ning Cheng turned around and stared at the Eternal Life Realm cultivator before saying, "You said you know where to find top-notch treasures." This fellow was just an eternal cultivator. Ning Cheng's previous words meant that he wanted him to inquire about it. Ning Cheng didn't expect this fellow to say that he knew about it. If this fellow still wanted to play tricks like before, Ning Cheng wouldn't mind teaching him a lesson. Under the pressure of Ning Cheng's aura, the eternal cultivator trembled again and spoke up in a trembling voice, "It's not just me. Everyone in the mysterious yellow heavens beyond knows about it. Several seniors should have just arrived at the mysterious yellow heavens beyond, which is why you don't know about it." "Oh, then tell me about it." Ning Cheng's tone turned warmer. The eternal cultivator sighed and quickly bowed before saying, "In the Myriad Realm Auction. There's a treasure exhibition hall in the Myriad Realm Auction. There were 9 top-notch treasures and 99 second-class treasures. Every time the Myriad Realm Auction holds a big auction, this exhibition hall will be opened. However, cultivators who go in to see the treasures have to pay 100,000 high-grade divine crystals." Ning Cheng thought to himself that the Myriad Realm Auction really knew how to do business. Even a visit cost 100,000 divine crystals, which was equivalent to robbery. Think about it, how many cultivators came to the mysterious yellow heavens beyond every year? Most of these cultivators who came to the mysterious yellow heavens beyond would probably visit these treasures. As long as they visited the treasures, it would be equivalent to giving 100,000 divine crystals to the Myriad Realm auction. Tell me about the top-notch treasures. Ning Qing recalled that the Great Change Realm seemed to have a Myriad Realm Chamber of Commerce. He wondered if it had anything to do with the Myriad Realm auction in the mysterious yellow heavens beyond. Yes. The Eternal Cultivator did not dare to hesitate. I haven't gone in, but I heard that there are innate Dragon Balls, fragments of the Good Fortune Indestructible Axe, Living Soil, Mysterious Yellow Origin, Realm Transformation Dao Fruit. Wait, you said that the Myriad Realm auction has Living Soil. When Ning Qing asked, he already understood why Jiang Man could get the news about the living soil in the mysterious yellow heavens beyond. It seemed that the news was public. Obviously, the living soil in the Myriad Realm auction was the treasure of the store and would not be sold. Chapter 1204. Yes, the Myriad Realm auction does have breath soil. However, if you go in to see the treasures, you must be careful. Don't touch the restriction crystal. Someone once accidentally touched the restriction crystal when looking at the treasures. As a result, the protector powerhouses of the Myriad Realm auction killed him on the spot. The Eternal Realm Cultivator said cautiously. Ning Qing took out a storage bag and threw it to the Eternal Realm Cultivator. He praised, "Not bad, thank you. There are some spirit crystals and a falling scar Dao pill inside. Consider it as your reward." The shop assistant was overwhelmed with happiness and quickly thanked Ning Qing. Even if the shop assistant didn't remind him, Ning Qing wouldn't touch the restriction crystal when he entered the Myriad Realm Auction's exhibition hall to see the treasures. The Myriad Realm Auction wouldn't be able to take out the treasures for people to see without a strong enough strength. Old fart, you and Chasing Bull go to the heavens beyond rest stop opposite and find a few spacious rooms. I'll go to the Myriad Realm auction to take a look. Ning Qing was in a hurry to go to the Myriad Realm auction. He wanted to see the breath soil and was a little worried about Jiang Man and Mu Yueping. The main reason was that Jiang Man and Mu Yueping's cultivation level was too low. According to reason, Jiang Man and Mu Yueping should have already reached heavens beyond. Since they were already in heavens beyond, the two of them wouldn't leave so quickly. If they hadn't left, why didn't they reply to his message? The Myriad Realm auction stood in the middle of the main street of heavens beyond and occupied a large area. The main building was even more magnificent, showing the status of the Myriad Realm auction in heavens beyond. Although the auction hall wasn't open yet, 2 Dao Nourishment Divine Emperors were still standing at the entrance of the Myriad Realm auction. Ning Qing was about to go up and ask when the next treasure exhibition would be held when he suddenly heard a familiar voice transmission. "Brother Ning," Ning Qing stopped immediately. He had already recognized the voice transmission. It was Mu Yueping. Mu Yueping was here. Why didn't she come up to see him directly? Ning Qing didn't need to look back. His spiritual consciousness had already seen Mu Yueping's disappearing figure at the corner of the street. Ning Qing quickly chased after her. Mu Yueping's speed was very fast, and after a few minutes, Mu Yueping finally stopped. "Senior Sister Mu, why are you here? Where's Brother Jiang?" Ning Qing asked in surprise. Mu Yueping's face looked haggard, and her Dao charm was in disarray. A middle-stage Dao Birth Holy Emperor's eyes were bloodshot, and he no longer had the demeanor he had when he stood on the Grand S&C with Jiang Man. "This is not the place to talk, Elder Brother Ning, please come with me." He told me how he fell into the trap and told me to crush the communication pearl immediately and move to another place to live until you came. I listened to Brother Man and moved away right away. After that, I never heard from him again. Over the years, I stayed here and wandered around the Myriad Realm auction every day, just to wait for you to come. Jiang Man was very decisive. His communication bead must have been crushed by him. Probably everything related to Mu Yueping had been destroyed by him. What those people want is the karma cultivation method jade strip in my ring, right? Ning Qing asked. Mu Yueping nodded. I guess that's the case. These people are after that jade strip. Ning Qing frowned. If he could exchange the jade strip for Jiang Man, Ning Qing wouldn't hesitate to give it to others. Ning Qing knew very well that if he took out the jade strip, Jiang Man would die even faster. If it were him, he would definitely find a way to hold the other party back. He believed that after Jiang Man suffered a loss, he would also think of dragging the other party out and waiting for him to come. He just didn't know if the other party had the patience. If not, Jiang Man wouldn't have survived. Senior Sister Mu, I've implicated you in this matter. If it weren't for the breath soil, you and Brother Jiang wouldn't have come to heavens beyond. Ning Qing felt a little guilty. Mu Yueping shook her head. As long as we're still in the void, we'll come to heavens beyond sooner or later. Sooner or later, we'll be fooled. Ning Qing knew that Mu Yueping was right. It would be strange if a cultivator who cultivated karma cultivation methods didn't try to get their hands on a karma cultivation method divine ability. Senior Sister Mu, don't worry. We don't have any clues now. We have to find out who released the Nirvana flame divine ability first. Ning Qing comforted her. He was most worried that the person who released the Nirvana flame divine ability would not leave any information in the Myriad Realm auction. Mu Yueping gradually calmed down with Ning Qing by her side. Brother Ning, although I didn't dare to go to the Myriad Realm auction to check this information, I can guess that the person who released the Nirvana flame divine ability would not leave any information in the Myriad Realm auction. I can guess that even if I went to check, I wouldn't be able to find anything. Since that person wants the Nirvana flame divine ability, he won't leave any accurate information. But we have another way. What way? Ning Qing asked immediately. Check the surveillance array records of the Myriad Realm auction. The Myriad Realm auction allows others to check the surveillance array records, but it costs 10 million spirit crystals to check for a year. Mu Yueping's tone was firm. Apparently, she had investigated it thoroughly. Ning Qing heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, we'll check the year when the auction was held. Mu Yueping shook her head and said, that won't do. The Myriad Realm auction's investigation must start now. For example, if you want to check the records from 5 years ago, you have to pay 50 million spirit crystals. If we check the records from 3 years ago, we have to pay 30 million spirit crystals. Ning Qing marveled in his heart. The Myriad Realm auction really knew how to do business. Regardless of whether it was an exhibition or this kind of investigation, it was all worth billions of dollars. One could imagine how much wealth the Myriad Realm auction had collected since its establishment. In that case, we'll check the records from 3 years ago. Let's not hesitate and leave now. Ning Qing stood up immediately after he finished speaking. He had already delayed for 3 years, so he couldn't waste another half a minute. Even if it was about the breath soil, he had to wait until he found out Jiang Man's whereabouts. Mu Yueping was very grateful. Ning Qing's attitude made her realize that they had not made friends. She changed the way she addressed him. Big Brother Ning, I'm afraid that the Myriad Realm auction has a Tao integration sacred emperor in charge. You have to be careful. She had also heard about Ning Qing's strength. He was a primordial Tao sacred emperor with strong combat power, even stronger than ordinary primordial chaos sacred emperors. Because she couldn't see through Ning Qing's cultivation level, she felt uncertain. Ning Qing comforted her. Senior Sister Mu, don't worry. I'll be careful. No matter how strong the Myriad Realm auction is, it can't be stronger than the Great Change Realm's Tao Court army. Besides, I don't think it's the Myriad Realm auction who attacked Brother Jiang. Ning Qing was completely comforting Mu Yueping. He was sure that the Myriad Realm auction was far stronger than the Great Change Realm Tao Court army. There might even be a Creation Realm expert like Yi Sa had mentioned. Otherwise, how could they create such a big situation in heavens beyond? Ning Cheng had still been suspicious when Esau had said that there was a third-step expert hidden in heavens beyond. Now, he no longer had any doubts. As soon as he arrived at heavens beyond, he knew the importance of this place. If there were third-step Dao validation experts in this void, they would definitely stay in heavens beyond. Mu Yueping thought that the strongest person in heavens beyond was a Dao integration sacred emperor, but that was because she was not qualified to come into contact with experts. When Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping arrived at the entrance of the Myriad Realm auction for the second time, a Dao Nourishment Sacred Emperor guarding the door stopped Ning Cheng. Daoists, the treasure exhibition and auction of the Myriad Realm auction will be held in a month. Please come again in a month. Ning Cheng hurriedly cupped his fists and said, Daoist, we're not here today for the auction. We want to check the surveillance array formation records. Chapter 1205. Check the records of the surveillance formation. The Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor looked at Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping in confusion. Generally, those who wanted to check the records of the surveillance formation had a certain level of strength and background. Most of them checked these records to seek revenge or to find out who had obtained something. Those who were weaker would not dare to take out the divine crystals to check the records, let alone take out the divine crystals. Mu Yueping's cultivation seemed ordinary, but he couldn't see through Ning Cheng's cultivation at all. Even though he felt that Ning Cheng was young, he didn't dare to disrespect Ning Cheng. I can't do this. Please wait a moment, I'll go report. After a while, the Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor came out again and said to Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping, please follow me. After Ning Cheng followed the Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor into the auction house, his spiritual consciousness was immediately blocked. Not to mention the scene outside the auction house, even inside, he could only scan as far as his eyes could see. The Myriad Realm auction was definitely not ordinary. Ning Cheng didn't use his spiritual consciousness to scan around. If he really wanted to, with his powerful spiritual consciousness, the Myriad Realm auction's spiritual consciousness isolation restriction wouldn't be able to stop him. After passing through a few corridors, the Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor brought Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping outside a red door. Before the Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor could speak, a voice came from inside the room. Come in. The Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor didn't go in but said to Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping, please come in. Thank you. Ning Cheng thanked him and brought Mu Yueping into the room. As soon as they stepped into the room, dense God Spirit Chi rushed towards them. A powerful suppressive force fused with this God Spirit Chi, giving them a silent threat. In the room was a bald man with some wrinkles on his face and extremely bright eyes. His gaze swept past Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping and he said calmly, you want to check the surveillance records of the Myriad Realm auction? Mu Yueping subconsciously took a step back when the bald man's gaze swept past her. Ning Cheng didn't react at all and replied calmly, yes. May I ask how I can check the surveillance records of the past 3 years? This bald man was only at the mid-stage primordial chaos. He was still far from being able to suppress him. The bald man revealed an appreciative look. You'll have to pay 50 million deity crystals for the examination first. Then, you'll have to pay 10 million deity crystals for each additional year. So much? Mu Yueping exclaimed. According to this, 3 years of investigation would be 80 million divine crystals. Previously, she had only investigated that it would cost 10 million divine crystals a year. She did not find out that it would cost 50 million divine crystals to open the door. How sinister. Ning Cheng cursed under his breath, but he didn't bargain. Instead, he took out a ring and handed it over. This is 80 million spirit crystals. I want to check it now. The bald man offered a price of 80 million, meaning that he was waiting for Ning Cheng to bargain. In his heart, the price was already 100 million, if Ning Cheng tried to bargain, then he would take the opportunity to add another 10 million. The Infinite Circle's Chamber of Commerce was a unique business. If they were willing, they could take the bait. If they weren't, they could scram. What he didn't expect was that not only did Ning Ching not bargain, but he also gave out the spirit crystals in a straightforward manner, which made him look at Ning Ching in a new light. Not bad, please come with me. The bald man put away the ring and nodded to Ning Ching and Mu Yueping. After half an incense stick worth of time, he brought Ning Ching and Mu Yueping to a room made up of countless huge crystal balls. He then pointed to the smallest crystal ball in front of him and said, "This is the surveillance record of the last 100 years. I opened the restriction for 3 years. You can check it with your spiritual consciousness." After saying that, the bald man turned around and walked away, not caring about leaving Ning Ching and Mu Yueping in the room with the surveillance array formation. "It's so expensive." After the bald-headed man left, Mu Yueping exclaimed in surprise. "This should be the cheapest one. I'm sure that if I had bargained at that time, that fellow would have raised the price again. I don't know where this Infinite Circles auction came from, but it really has a lot of momentum. I hope that it's not the Infinite Circles auction that wants to take action against Brother Jiang. If it's the Infinite Circles auction, then no matter how much momentum they have, don't blame me for being impolite." Ning Ching walked to the smallest crystal ball pointed out by the bald man and put his hand on it. Mu Yueping stood next to Ning Ching and looked at Ning Ching's palm nervously. Looking at the records of the surveillance array formation for a year, even if one's spiritual consciousness was stronger, in Mu Yueping's opinion, it would still take at least a day or two. But what Mu Yueping didn't expect was that just an hour later, Ning Ching took out a small crystal ball and put it on top of the crystal ball he was looking at. After a dozen breaths, Ning Ching put down his hand and took out the small crystal ball. "I've already found it. You can also take a look at these scenes." After that, Ning Ching waved his hand, and a scene appeared in front of him and Mu Yueping. In the scene, Jiang Man stood in the auction venue with anxiety and despair on his face. But many people walked out of the auction venue with him. This scene obviously showed the end of the auction. Mu Yueping's eyes turned red again, and she choked with sobs. "Big Brother Ning, I can't tell who did this to Brother Man, I can tell, just keep watching." Ning Ching said calmly. When most of the people had left, Jiang Man slowly walked out. Mu Yueping's eyes were tightly fixed on Jiang Man's body, for fear of missing a detail. At this time, Jiang Man stopped, and his eyes suddenly fell on a thin and tall man in the distance. Mu Yueping called out in a trembling voice, "Was this the person who took away Brother Man?" Ning Ching spoke up in a deep voice, "It should be." After Brother Jiang knew that he was being watched, he deliberately looked at this person. "I'm afraid that he was waiting for me to check the surveillance records here." After Ning Ching finished speaking, Jiang Man had already walked out of the auction venue. The thin and tall man also disappeared behind Jiang Man. "I don't know if this person changed his appearance or not." Mu Yueping clenched her fists and spoke with hatred. Ning Ching did not speak, but his eyes fell on the door of the room. Standing in the doorway of the room was the bald man who had brought him and Mu Yueping in. The bald man looked at Ning Ching in amazement. "I didn't expect you to find what you needed in just an hour." "Amazing." Ning Ching put away the crystal ball and spoke in a flat tone, "I just saw this Dao friend's expression. It seems that you know the thin man in the surveillance screen. Did that person not change his appearance?" The surprise on the bald man's face disappeared, and he spoke up casually, "Yes, I do know him, and he did not change his appearance. Although I don't know why you are looking for this person, I suggest that you don't look for him. Because you can't afford to offend him." Ning Ching smiled, "Is the reason I can't look for him because he didn't change his appearance?" The bald man smiled, "You're smart. By the way, it's because he didn't change his appearance that you can't afford to offend him. No one is worth it for someone from his family to change their appearance, even if it's my myriad world auction. Only when one's strength reached a certain level would they have the confidence to speak like this." For the bald man to say such words, either the thin man's strength reached a certain level, or the power behind this thin man was extremely powerful. Ning Ching did not refute him. Instead, he asked, please tell me who he is. If you need divine crystals, tell me how much you need. Of course, if you don't want to say it, forget it. I believe that many people in heavens beyond know this thin man. The bald man did not care about Ning Cheng's words. Instead, he stretched out a finger. 100,000 divine crystals. Myriad World Auction does business. Even if we were friends, I'd still have to collect the divine crystals. Ning Cheng did not even bother to bargain. Instead, he took out a storage bag and threw it over. Here are 100,000 divine crystals. You can tell me now. The bald man put away the storage bag, looked at Ning Cheng, and said meaningfully, this person is called Mao Kai. He's from the Mao family of heavens beyond. As for where the Mao family is, anyone who has lived in heavens beyond for a while would know. Mu Yueping's expression changed and she pulled Ning Cheng. Let's go first. I'll tell you something later. Ning Cheng looked at Mu Yueping and asked with a smile, are you going to say that the Mao family has a top-notch expert who has already reached the Tao integration realm? Mu Yueping nodded and sent a voice transmission to Ning Cheng. I know about the Mao family. I heard that the Mao family head, Mao Wuyao, is already a late-stage primordial chaos expert. Late-stage primordial chaos? Ning Cheng chuckled in his heart. If the Mao family only had a late-stage primordial chaos expert, the Myriad World Auction would not be afraid of them. The Mao family probably had more than one Tao integration sacred emperor. They might even have a third-step almighty who was above the Tao integration realm. Ning Cheng did not think that Esau's information was nonsense. Since the Mao family could make the Myriad World Auction fear them, their strength was no less than a primordial chaos sacred emperor. Perhaps, as Esau had said, the true powerful forces of heavens beyond were hidden in the dark. The bald man had a disdainful sneer on his face. Since the two of you have checked and know who you are looking for, then please. Ning Cheng did not leave. Instead, he added, Taoist, I have some business to do with the Myriad World Auction. The bald man nodded. What business do you have? Just tell me directly. I'll see if it's worth it to do business with you. Ning Cheng smiled slightly. I'm afraid you can't make the decision for this business. Please ask the top person in charge of the Myriad World Auction to come and talk to me. Upon hearing Ning Cheng's words, the bald man's expression changed and immediately turned gloomy. Then, a boundless terrifying aura blasted towards Ning Cheng. Since Ning Cheng did not know how to appreciate favors, he decided to teach Ning Cheng a lesson. Don't think that you don't know how high the sky is and how high the earth is just because you have a few divine crystals. As the terrifying aura pressed over, Mu Yueping's face suddenly turned pale. Not waiting for Mu Yueping to feel the overwhelming pressure, Ning Cheng took a slight step forward, and the pressure from the bald-headed man disappeared without a trace. Chapter 1206. The bald man was shocked. Before he could speak, an even more terrifying oppressive force came and blasted him out of the door. Just as he was about to hit the opposite stone wall, that terrifying oppressive force suddenly disappeared. The moment this force disappeared, the bald man suddenly lost his direction. Just as he was about to stand up, a whirlpool swept his calf. With a plop, the bald man at the mid-stage primordial chaos fell to the ground. Ning Cheng stared at the bald man coldly and did not speak. If he had not wanted to offend the Myriad Realm Auction, the bald man's aura would have smashed the opposite stone wall. The bald man stood up in horror and hurriedly bowed before Ning Cheng. I'm Deacon Lu Bai of the Myriad Realm Auction. I was blind to have offended you. Please forgive me. Ning Cheng had easily blasted him away with his Tao rune aura. This was definitely not the primordial chaos realm. Lu Bai was sure that Ning Cheng was a Tao integration sacred emperor. A Tao integration sacred emperor was not a threat to the Myriad Realm Auction, but he was a fatal threat to Lu Bai. He was a deacon of the Myriad Realm Auction and had a strong background. However, he had provoked Ning Cheng first, so the Myriad Realm auction could not do anything excessive to Ningcheng. In that case, unless Lu Bai did not leave the beyond of heaven and earth, he would fall into the hands of the other party. He did not think that a Tao integration sacred emperor would swallow his pride after suffering a loss. Mu Yueping stared at Ningcheng with wide eyes. She knew that Ningcheng was very strong. His primordial Tao realm was not weaker than an ordinary early-stage primordial chaos sacred emperor, but she had not expected Ningcheng to be so strong. Ningcheng waved his hand. "I don't mind. I just want to ask if I can talk to the top person in charge here." Lu Bai quickly nodded. "Senior, please wait." After saying that, Lu Bai sent a message. After doing this, Lu Bai told Ningcheng and Mu Yueping, "Please follow me to the VIP room." Both Ningcheng and Mu Yueping sighed in their hearts. Previously, Ningcheng had made a deal with him worth 80 million high-grade divine crystals, but he had not invited Ningcheng to the VIP room. Now, Ningcheng was angry and had taught Lu Bai a lesson. Instead, he had entered the VIP room. Sure enough, strength was the reason in the endless void. Without strength, there was no reason. This time, when Ningcheng and Mu Yueping sat down, Lu Bai treated them very well. Not only did he bring divine spirit tea, but he also brought high-grade divine spirit fruits. Even if Lu Bai treated Ningcheng as a powerhouse, the person in charge of the Myriad World Auction still made Ningcheng wait for half a day. Only when the sky turned dark did the person in charge slowly arrive at the Myriad World Auction. "Taoist friend, you said that you have an important business deal with my Myriad Realms auction." An elegant middle-aged man walked into the VIP lounge. This middle-aged man looked very peaceful. He wore a brown imperial scarf on his head, and his entire person exuded a noble aura. His words were obviously very cold, but they carried a natural aura of a superior. After he said this, there was an additional coldness in his eyes. He could clearly sense that Ningcheng's cultivation level was still at the primordial chaos realm and definitely not at the Tao integration realm. With this level of cultivation, even if Lu Bai wanted to conceal himself, it would be very difficult for him to do so. Lu Bai was simply regressing. A mere primordial chaos sacred emperor actually dared to make him rush over. When Mu Yueping saw this man, she quickly stood up. However, Ningcheng didn't move. He felt a kind of pressure blasting towards him, but this pressure didn't affect Mu Yueping at all. Obviously, this person in charge wanted to give Ningcheng a show of strength first. Boom! The Tao integration sacred emperor's Tao rune power finally collided with Ningcheng's domain. Ningcheng's seat shook slightly, but the Tao integration sacred emperor took a few steps back before stopping. The contempt on the Tao integration sacred emperor's face finally disappeared. He looked at Ningcheng in shock and asked, "Taoist friend, have you reached the peak of Tao integration?" The reason why he was shocked was that Ningcheng's Tao rune clearly hadn't reached Tao integration. If he had, Ningcheng's Tao rune aura would have been dozens of times stronger. If he used his own aura to suppress Ningcheng, he would have been blasted away or even severely injured. Ningcheng said calmly, "I'm not here to discuss cultivation with you. I want to do some business with the Myriad Realm auction." The Tao integration sacred emperor didn't have the same demeanor as before. He cupped his fists towards Ningcheng and said, "I'm Shi Lin, the person in charge of the Myriad Realm auction. I don't know how to address you, and what business do you want to do with my Myriad Realm auction?" Ningcheng also cupped his fists. "My name is Ningcheng. I heard that the Myriad Realm auction has a piece of breath soil and a Xiantian dragon pearl. I want to buy these two things." When Shi Lin heard Ningcheng's words, his expression changed, and his tone turned cold. "Sorry, my Myriad Realm auction doesn't sell the breath soil and the Xiantian dragon pearl. Taoist friend, you are indeed powerful, but no one can force the Myriad Realm auction to sell anything we don't want to sell." Ningcheng showed a slight smile. "I never force anyone to do business. Doing business is all about willingness. If the Myriad Realm auction doesn't want to do business with me, then I naturally won't say anything. Since it's business, you should at least listen to my offer, right? Shi Lin's expression turned slightly better. Then, Dao Friend Ning, please make an offer. Dao Friend Ning's offer is Dao Friend Ning's business, but whether my Myriad Realm auction wants to do business with you or not is my Myriad Realm auction's business. The reason why he spoke so politely was because of Ning Cheng's strength. In his opinion, Ning Cheng's strength surpassed his own. Even if he hadn't reached the full circle, he most likely was at the peak of Dao integration. That's natural. Ning Cheng smiled and stood up. Before I make an offer, I want to see the 9 supreme treasures of the Myriad Realm. I wonder if I can have the honor. Shi Lin's expression turned ugly once again. If it weren't for Ning Cheng's strength surpassing his, he would have already told Ning Cheng to get lost. Dao Friend Shi, is the Myriad Realm auction worried that I might threaten the treasures? I believe that with the strength of the Myriad Realm auction, it shouldn't have such concerns. Ning Cheng spoke with a calm tone. Shi Lin's expression returned to normal. It doesn't matter if you try to goad me. In a month's time, my Myriad Realm auction will publicly display the treasures. At that time, Dao Friend Ning can naturally come and view them at will. Ning Cheng didn't expect Shi Lin to be so cautious and had to speak up. In that case, I'll make an offer. First, I can bring out purer mysterious yellow qi than the Myriad Realm auction, and it also has the aura of the origin. The reason why Ning Cheng wanted to see the treasures was to see how pure the other party's mysterious yellow qi was. He didn't see the mysterious yellow qi from the Myriad Realm auction, but he was sure that no matter how much mysterious yellow qi one obtained from other channels, it wouldn't be as pure as the mysterious yellow qi in his mysterious yellow bead. Even if it was as pure as his mysterious yellow qi, it wouldn't have the aura of the origin. Mysterious yellow qi with the aura of the origin? Shi Lin was shocked by Ning Cheng's words and immediately stood up. Ning Cheng didn't care about Shi Lin's shock and continued, I still have the 5-element chaos qi. Even if you don't bring the 5-element chaos qi, I can still help you get it. In addition, I can also help you get the essence of the universe. If Ning Cheng's words about the mysterious yellow qi with the origin shocked Shi Lin, then Ning Cheng's words about the chaos qi and the essence of the universe left Shi Lin dumbfounded. Even a Dao integration holy emperor wouldn't necessarily have one of these treasures. How could Ning Cheng say that he had more than one? Ning Cheng saw Shi Lin's shock and doubts and said calmly, you know that I wouldn't lie to you. If I'm not wrong, your association even has a third-step powerhouse. Even if I wanted to lie to you, I wouldn't dare. When Ning Cheng mentioned the third-step powerhouse, Shi Lin's expression remained calm. He showed neither shock nor doubt. How much essence of the universe can you take out? Shi Lin also realized that Ning Cheng wouldn't dare lie to him, so his tone turned solemn. Ning Cheng smiled slightly, that depends on how much the Myriad Realm auction can give me. In addition to these two things, I also need a promise from the Myriad Realm auction. What promise? Shi Lin immediately asked. Ning Cheng stood up and said word by word, soon, I will go and destroy the Mao clan of the heavens beyond heaven. However, the Mao clan most likely has a third-step Dao confirming powerhouse. If the Mao clan really has a third-step Dao confirming powerhouse, I hope the Myriad Realm Commerce Hall can help deal with them. Shi Lin sneered, Daoist Ning, I'm afraid that what you have is not enough to deal with a third-step Dao confirming powerhouse. Ning Cheng said calmly, maybe what I have is not enough, but I have something more precious. As far as I know, the destruction of the Mao clan will only bring benefits to the Myriad Realm auction. Do you want to do this business? Shi Lin took a deep breath. Daoist Ning, let's not talk about dealing with the Mao clan's third-step powerhouse. Even if you take out more things, the Myriad Realm auction won't do it. However, I can give you a piece of news. The Mao clan's third-step Dao confirming powerhouse will not return to the heavens beyond within 100 years. Therefore, you don't have to worry about these things within 100 years. Ning Cheng was even more shocked. He had guessed that the Mao clan had a third-step powerhouse, but it was still just a guess. Now that Shi Lin had said with certainty that the Mao clan had a third-step powerhouse, he was still shocked. What made him feel slightly relieved was that the Mao clan's third-step powerhouse would not appear in the heavens beyond within 100 years. If this news was true, he would be able to make a move. Daoist Ning, I can't make a decision on these things now. How about this? I also have to discuss with the auction's elder to see if we can trade with you. Shi Lin was still reluctant to part with the quintessential essence of the universe. In terms of value, the breath soil and the connate dragon pearl should be more valuable than the quintessential essence of the universe. However, the quintessential essence of the universe was what could be auctioned for a high price. Too many people wanted or needed the quintessential essence of the universe. Ning Cheng left his communication pearl and said, "Okay, as long as you have any results, you can inform me at any time." Since the Mao clan did not have a third-step powerhouse, Ning Cheng decided to investigate further and make a move immediately after confirming it. Upon seeing that Ning Cheng was about to leave, Shi Lin said from behind, "Daoist Ning, no matter what happens, I suggest that you don't do anything to the Mao clan." Chapter 1207. Manager. After Ning Cheng left, Lu Bai stepped forward and greeted him carefully. Shi Lin waved his hand at Lu Bai and frowned as he watched Ning Cheng's disappearing figure. After half an hour, he came back to his senses and told Lu Bai, "You did well this time. You didn't offend this person. Do you know where Ning Cheng came from? Why did he want to deal with the Mao family?" Upon hearing Shi Lin's praise, Lu Bai finally felt relieved and hurriedly said, "This person came here to check the surveillance footage of the Myriad Realm auction for the past 3 years and then retrieved the situation of the Nirvana Flame Divine Ability auction 3 years ago. That's why he said he wanted to exterminate the Mao family." The Nirvana Flame Divine Ability? Shi Lin understood after a moment of doubt. "I know. It's that fishing divine ability. The Mao family deliberately released it to find the Karma Divine Ability." "Show me that video." Lu Bai worked very quickly. In a short while, he used a crystal ball to engrave that video. Shi Lin watched the video twice before looking at Jiang Man's figure in the video and saying, "I still remember this person. He was the one who bid for the Nirvana Flame Divine Ability back then." However, the person who bid for the Nirvana Flame Divine Ability doesn't necessarily have a karma cultivation technique. Cultivation techniques like the Formless Principle and Myriad will clear Jade cultivation techniques can all cultivate this divine ability. The Mao family was too ostentatious in heavens beyond. This time, they finally provoked a ruthless person. "Manager, didn't you just tell Ning Cheng not to provoke the Mao family?" Lu Bai asked doubtfully. Shi Lin sneered. "Would someone like Ning Cheng not provoke the Mao family because of my advice? I just wanted to sow good karma." Lu Bai was instantly shocked. "Manager, do you mean that Ning Cheng can really exterminate the Mao family? Is Ning Cheng at the perfected Dao integration realm?" Shi Lin pondered for a while before saying solemnly, "This is what I'm confused about. Ning Cheng's Dao runes are slightly scattered, so he obviously hasn't reached Dao integration realm. Why is he so strong? However, even if he's a true primordial chaos expert, he can't be underestimated. Have you forgotten about the person in heavens beyond? How did the original Lu family of the heavens beyond perish?" Lu Bai shuddered when he heard this. Back then, that person had only been at the mid-stage primordial chaos and had come to heavens beyond to do elixir and dharma treasure business. In the end, he had offended the Lu family, one of the 7 major forces in heavens beyond. The Lu family was ranked in the top 3 in heavens beyond. After the Lu family had destroyed that person's elixir dispensary, that person had directly uprooted the Lu family in the beyond of heaven and earth out of rage. When he fought with the Lu family's patriarch, they fought from heavens beyond to the endless void. The beyond of heaven and earth's endless planet protecting restrictions could not stop their battle. After several years, that person returned to the beyond of heaven and earth alone, and there was no news of the Lu family's patriarch. Because of this battle, this unparalleled position was established. However, only some of the higher-ups of the 7 great forces knew about this. The ordinary cultivators only saw a new pill house being destroyed and then rebuilt. That was all. After that, the Lu family's forces disappeared and became that person's territory. As a result, one of the 7 major forces in heavens beyond changed. The only reassuring thing was that he had no interest in the distribution of the various gatherings. He never participated in the distribution of the benefits, but nobody dared to touch the benefits in his hands. Later, the beyond of heaven and earth's 7 major forces became 6. Even so, nobody dared to doubt the strength of the 7th foreign force. Shi Lin said in a low voice, that person's strength was definitely at the mid-stage primordial chaos at that time. The highest strength he had was only at the late-stage primordial chaos. This is what the Myriad Realm Auction's patriarch said. Therefore, strength does not only depend on one's cultivation level. You have to remember in the future that Ning Cheng is very decisive. This Ning Cheng was very decisive in his actions. He estimated that he was not inferior to that existence. If that's really the case, I'm afraid there will be one less force in heaven and earth's beyond. Master, didn't you say that there's a huge difference between Tao integration and primordial chaos? Let alone a third-step expert. If the Lu family's patriarch was really a third-step expert back then, how could that primordial chaos sacred emperor do anything to him? Lu Bai asked in confusion. I don't know if there's a huge difference between primordial chaos and Tao integration, but the difference between a third-step expert and a second-step sacred emperor is more than that. It's the difference between quantity and quality. Once you cross the 3rd step, you can easily crush all powers. Shi Lin shook his head. Although Lu Bai wanted to ask more questions, he did not dare to continue. It would not be good if he asked too much and made the master unhappy. Shi Lin took the initiative to say, once the quantity reaches a certain level, it is not necessarily worse than the quality. I remember that after that person destroyed the Lu family, the 6 major forces of heaven and earth's beyond invited him as a guest. I was fortunate enough to attend that gathering. At that time, the Min family's patriarch asked that primordial chaos person what his chances of winning against a Tao integration expert were. In fact, the Min family's patriarch was implying that how could a primordial chaos person deal with the Lu family's patriarch. That person said something that I still remember vividly. What did he say? Lu Bai hurriedly asked. He said that in my opinion, there is no difference between most people's primordial chaos and Tao integration. The only difference is that they have reached a bottleneck when they cultivate to the primordial chaos realm. They have to rely on external forces or external objects to integrate their own strength to form condensed Tao runes. This is called Tao integration. That's all. Actually, that's all. It's really not worth mentioning. Once you encounter a true primordial chaos expert, this kind of Tao integration is a piece of cake. Shi Lin sounded a little lonely. It was obvious that he had reached Tao integration under such circumstances. Ah! Lu Bai was shocked and did not know what to do. He was now at the mid-stage primordial chaos and was already considering how to reach Tao integration in the future. Shi Lin, who did not care about Lu Bai's shock, continued saying, the Min family's patriarch was very uncomfortable and even asked, according to what you said, the Tao integration realm is unnecessary. At that time, that person had said with a faint smile that it was not necessarily unnecessary. A true Tao integration expert does not rely on external forces, external objects, or any external factors to achieve Tao integration. Instead, he succeeds in Tao integration on his own. Everyone present has experienced the Tao integration realm. Which one of them succeeded in Tao integration on their own? Tao integration on my own. Lu Bai suddenly thought of the weakest kind of Tao integration. Shi Lin nodded. Yes, It's Tao integration on your own. In fact, I still do not understand what that person meant by Tao integration on my own. At that time, the Min family's patriarch laughed out loud. You said that Tao integration on your own was the weakest kind of Tao integration, right? Young man, you are indeed very strong, but don't be too arrogant. Be careful not to sprain your teeth. I did achieve tool integration, but didn't I still cross the second step? At that time, that person still smiled nonchalantly. You are the Min family's patriarch, right? You don't have to provoke me. I will naturally say what I want to say. If I don't want to say it, I will not say a word no matter how hard you try. At that time, the Min family's patriarch was very embarrassed. He had indeed said that on purpose to make that person speak clearly. He did not expect that person to see through it. That's impressive. Lu Bai did not know whether he was referring to the Min family's patriarch or that person. That's not all, Shi Lin said. Shi Lin said, that person didn't care about the Min family's patriarch. He just told the Min family's patriarch that your second step breakthrough was merely a figment of your imagination. In my opinion, your third step breakthrough is also extremely fake. You will only be able to stay at this level for the rest of your life. That person said that the Min family's patriarch's creation realm is fake. Lu Bai exclaimed in shock. If the Min family's patriarch's creation realm was fake, did that not mean that the creation realm of the other big families were fake as well? Shi Lin's tone became even deeper. That's right. What that person meant was that there are no true third-step experts in heavens beyond. All the third-step experts were fake. The old ancestor of the Min family was truly enraged this time, and he wasn't just trying to bait him. He stood up and said coldly, I know that you killed Lu Qianhe, so you are not afraid of an old man like me. However, there is no need to be so ruthless. There are many experts in this world. No matter how strong you are not the strongest. I, Min Husheng, have transcended 2 heavenly blights. I believe that the 3rd heavenly blight is not far away. What did that person say? Lu Bai had forgotten that he was facing the supervisor. Shi Lin also seemed to have forgotten that there was a huge difference in status between him and Lu Bai. That person chuckled and said, You are wrong. You did not transcend 2 heavenly blights, but 2 minor blights. Also, you do not have to worry about the 3rd heavenly blight because you will never have the chance to transcend it again. The Min family's patriarch was instantly enraged when he heard that. That person continued to say, the real heavenly blight is not 5 blights, but 3 blights. The first blight is the true 3rd step blight, which is the creation blight. You are not qualified. The heavenly blight is not 5 blights, but 3 blights. How is that possible? Lu Bai exclaimed in shock once again. Shi Lin sighed and said, no one took that person's words to heart. Throughout history, the heavenly blight has always been 5 blights. When did it become 3 blights? However, I know that most people took that person's words to heart. As for whether the heavenly blight is 3 blights or 5 blights, I think we should talk about our own situation. To me, the heavenly blight is 5 blights. Big Brother Ning, are we really going to make a move against the Mao family? After walking out of the Myriad Realm auction, Mu Yueping still could not believe that Ning Qing could even stop a Dao integration expert. Ning Qing grunted in acknowledgement and then said, we definitely have to make a move. Don't say that Brother Jiang was captured by the Mao family because of me. Even if it was not for me, based on my friendship with Brother Jiang, I have to interfere in this matter. Mu Yueping naturally wanted to rescue Jiang Man as soon as possible, but she also knew that this was no trivial matter. If anything happened to Ning Qing, she would feel even more guilty and uneasy. Don't think too much about it. If anything happens to me, I'm afraid you will not be able to survive. I will not make a move now. Before I do it, I will investigate thoroughly. Ning Qing could see through Mu Yueping's thoughts and took the initiative to comfort her. Mu Yueping immediately said, I don't care about my own life. Chapter 1208. When Ning Cheng and Mu Yueping arrived at the Heavens Beyond rest stop, they saw Chasing Bull quarreling with someone in the rest stop's lobby. Who do you think you are? My master is here and will slap you to death. Do you know who my master is? How dare you act so arrogantly in front of this divine bull if you don't know? Chasing Bull's spittle flew everywhere, and the female cultivator in charge of the rest stop cursed at her until she leaned against the wall. The old fogey sat proudly on the side and drank his spiritual tea while letting Chasing Bull throw its tantrum. What's going on? Ning Cheng walked into the rest stop and stared at Chasing Bull and asked. Chasing Bull saw Ning Cheng come back and quickly ran over. It bowed and said, Master, this rest stop is too unreasonable. There are obviously 2 special class rooms, but this woman refused to let us stay in them, saying that they are reserved for us. Master, this is clearly bullying and looking down on us. It means that we are not qualified to stay in the superior rooms. When Ning Cheng came over, the old fogey didn't dare to continue sitting there and drinking his spiritual tea. He quickly came over and called out with a simple and honest look, Senior, you're back. Senior, please calm down. Because these 2 special class rooms are not open to the public, our rest stop also has top-grade superior rooms, which are reserved for 5 auxiliary cultivation rooms, 1 main cultivation room, and an artifact crafting alchemy room. In fact, it's not much different from the special class rooms. The female cultivator in charge of the rest stop felt so anxious that her face turned a little red. Ning Cheng's face sank, and he angrily shouted at the female cultivator, Does that mean what my companion beast said is true? Are you looking down on us? The difference between a special class room and a superior room is a symbol of status. If you still want to look down on me, then don't blame me for being rude. Chasing Bull was already so unreasonable, and now that Chasing Bull's owner came, it became even more unreasonable. This made the female cultivator in charge of the reception not know what to do. Mu Yueping wanted to say a word, but she didn't dare to. She felt that it didn't matter what room she stayed in. She didn't necessarily want to stay in a special class room. After Ning Cheng finished this sentence, his spiritual consciousness silently penetrated into every corner of the surroundings. Soon, he caught a voice, which came from Chasing Bull. See, I'm not wrong. This is a symbol of status. Your master said the same thing when he came, right? You've done a great service this time. Your master will definitely reward you. Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. Sure enough, he guessed that Chasing Bull must have been bewitched by someone. Otherwise, how could Chasing Bull know about the reserved special class rooms? This person definitely wanted to cause trouble for him and the rest stop. His spiritual consciousness quickly followed the sound transmission and swept to a room on the 2nd floor. The room number was D91. The room's restriction was opened, and a young woman, who looked somewhat beautiful, was inside. She was at the mid-stage primordial Tao realm. Just give us a superior room. I'm not used to living in a special grade room. Since he had already found the person who secretly bewitched Chasing Bull, Ning Cheng didn't continue to scare the female cultivator in charge of the rest stop. Master. Chasing Bull originally wanted to continue scolding the female cultivator who received them. But it didn't expect Ning Cheng to suddenly change his mind and ask them to stay in an ordinary superior room, which caught it off guard. Ning Cheng slapped Chasing Bull's head and spoke, You're not bad. Your temper seems to have gotten better recently. You wasted a day here just to wrangle with a room. If there's a next time, I will peel off your skin and throw you back. Chasing Bull jumped up in fright. For it, the greatest pleasure in life was to follow its master on the bustling streets and eat delicious food. Now that Ning Cheng said it, it almost scared its little heart to death. At this moment, how could it dare to ask for the reason? It quickly spoke up, Master, please spare my life. I won't dare to do it again. The old fogey also felt surprised. He could feel Ning Cheng's dissatisfaction. Chasing Bull had been incited by someone and wanted to talk to the female cultivator in charge of the hotel. He had already seen it. But he didn't care about it. He also liked Chasing Bull's performance. Moreover, in his opinion, as long as Ning Cheng was here, no matter what happened, it didn't matter. Even if Chasing Bull and the rest stop started a fight, so what? With a great god like Ning Cheng around, could this rest stop jump into the sky? The female cultivator immediately sobered up from the surprise. It was just too unexpected. Listening to the tone of Chasing Bull's companion beast, she felt that Ning Cheng had an extraordinary background. As a receptionist in a small rest stop, how could she dare to offend such a big shot? Just when she didn't know what to do, Ning Cheng suddenly changed his mind and asked for an ordinary, top-class room. Okay. The female cultivator quickly spoke up, I'll arrange a top-class room for you right away. The female cultivator hurriedly walked to the front desk and called out the available room numbers. But soon, her face turned into panic again. She found that the top-class room had also disappeared. The Heavens Beyond rest stop had 2 entrances, both of which could be used to receive guests. The 2 empty top-class rooms she had found before must have been reserved by the other reception desk. Honorable guest, I'm really sorry, but the 2 empty rooms on our side have already been reserved. We only have a middle-class room left. The female cultivator's legs trembled as she spoke. Apparently, Chasing Bull had scared her to death. She didn't know what kind of trouble it would cause if she said those words. To her surprise, Ning Cheng didn't get angry. Instead, he calmly asked, Room D91, what grade of room is it? The female cultivator didn't relax even a little because of Ning Cheng's attitude. She quickly replied, Room D91 is a top-class room, but that room is now occupied. Ning Cheng nodded, help me arrange room D91. As for the people living in it, I'll coordinate with them. At this moment, the female cultivator didn't dare to speak. When Chasing Bull came to make a fuss, she had already reported to her superior deacon. She didn't know what was going on, but the deacon, who usually appeared quickly, hadn't come over today. In a place like a rest stop, one could meet all kinds of people. In case the other party got angry and killed her with a slap, even if the rest stop could help her get back at them, what use would it be to her? Seeing Ning Cheng walk up to the second floor, the old fogey and Chasing Bull quickly followed. The young woman in charge of room 91 froze for a moment when she saw Ning Cheng coming over. In any case, she didn't believe that someone could hear her voice transmission. Even if someone heard her voice transmission, she didn't think that they would be able to trace it back to her. Now that Ning Cheng walked over, she understood that this person must have sensed her voice transmission to that stupid bull. There are no top-class rooms here. I just happened to see that your room is a top-class room. You should quickly check out and give up this room. Ning Cheng came up and spoke with an ice-cold tone. When Chasing Bull heard Ning Cheng's words, it immediately beamed with joy. Master truly was amazing. It actually dared to compete with a receptionist female cultivator. How powerful was Master? If he wanted a room, he could just say, I want this room. Get out of my way. Only by living like this, would life have meaning. Ah! The woman didn't expect such a thing to happen and froze for a moment. However, she quickly reacted and quickly bowed, this junior's cultivation is far from that of the several seniors. If the several seniors want this junior's room, then this junior will immediately step aside. The woman's voice trembled with fear. If one paid a little more attention, they would have heard that although her voice trembled with fear, it still contained a hint of Tao charm that could spread further. How awe-inspiring. You only know how to bully weak women. If I meet trash like you, I'll kill one. If I meet 2, I'll kill a pair. A disdainful voice arrived, followed by 2 sharp imposing auras pressing down on Ning Cheng. 2 young male cultivators came over. The 2 of them had Tao charm flowing around them, and their imposing auras were extremely sharp. At a glance, one could tell that they were holy emperors who had just reached Tao-confirming Tao fusion. You're courting death. How dare you fart in front of my master? Chasing Bull jumped 3 feet high. Ning Qing didn't pat Chasing Bull this time. This woman must have called these two over for a reason. If this woman didn't provoke Chasing Bull, it would have been fine. But since she provoked Chasing Bull, he had to figure out the reason. Elder Brother Yi, Elder Brother Quan, why are you here? The young woman came forward to greet them with a trembling voice. The young man walking in front glanced at the young woman and spoke with a cold tone, "Don't think that we don't know that you deliberately called us over to block a disaster for you. Even if you didn't call us, we would have come over. In the future, don't use these little tricks here. Get lost." The young woman didn't dare to refute and quickly lowered her head and stood aside obediently. After the young man scolded the woman, his gaze fell on Ning Qing. Anyone can come to my heavens beyond, but arrogant people can't. Get lost to where you came from. If you're late, don't blame your bad luck. Ning Qing asked calmly, "How should I address you?" The young man snorted coldly. "It doesn't matter if I tell you. I'm from the Min clan, Min Quan. This is Mao Yi from the Mao clan." Mu Yueping carefully transmitted her voice behind Ning Qing. Min Quan and Mao Yi are the most talented cultivators in heavens beyond and are very famous here. Mao Yi is actually from the Mao clan. Oh, I've never heard of him. After Ning Qing said this, he suddenly took a step forward and threw a punch. Crack. At the same time, a blood arrow spurted out. With a bam, Mao Yi was sent flying by Ning Qing and landed in the hall on the first floor. He didn't get up for a long time. Although no one was there to watch, this was an inn, so there were people watching from every room. Ning Qing had sent an early-stage primordial chaos sacred emperor flying with a punch, which was indeed shocking. The most shocking thing was not that Ning Qing had sent an early-stage primordial chaos sacred emperor flying with a punch, but that he had sent the person flying. The person Ning Qing had sent flying was not Min Quan, who had been despising him and asking him to get lost. Instead, it was Mao Yi, who had been standing behind Min Quan and hadn't said anything. What was going on? In terms of strength, the Mao clan was probably not weaker than the Min clan. Min Quan was also stunned. He hadn't expected Ning Qing to be so powerful. Since he had sent Mao Yi flying with a punch, it meant that Min Quan could also send him flying with a punch. At this thought, his heart trembled and he subconsciously took a few steps back. Ning Qing's gaze landed on Min Quan. You get lost too. If you're any slower, my next punch will be on you. Chapter 1209. Min Quan did not say anything. He did not even help Mao Yi up. Instead, he rushed out of the inn as fast as he could. The Mao family was strong, but no matter how strong they were, they had no way to save him now. Ning Qing was so powerful and domineering. Obviously, he did not have the support of a big force behind him. It was because he was a stupid person. How could a stupid person cultivate to such a powerful strength? In other words, Ning Qing had the support of a big force behind him. He had to report this to his superiors. Heavens beyond had already formed a balance. At this time, he had to let the Mao family know about the invasion of any foreign force as soon as possible. After Min Quan left, Ning Qing did not care about Mao Yi, who had been sent flying by him. Instead, he told the nervous primordial Tao woman, who was about to leave, "Come in with me. Otherwise, you'll die now." The primordial Tao woman replied in a trembling voice, "Yes, Senior. I will do as you bid." Ning Qing and the others entered the room. After Ning Qing reactivated the restriction at the door, there was a lot of discussion outside the inn. These people were either guessing where Ning Qing came from or how the Mao family would teach him a lesson. The Mao family was one of the 6 major forces of heavens beyond. It was said that they had a Tao integration sacred emperor. No matter how strong this foreign cultivator was, he could not fight against the Mao family, right? Why did you provoke a fight between my pet beast and the inn? You only have one chance. If you dare to lie, you don't have to say it. After saying that, Ning Cheng raised his hand. The galaxy sacred flame turned into a flame shield and enveloped the primordial Tao woman. The terrifying power of the sacred flame made the primordial Tao woman feel as if her life was evaporating at every moment. Senior, I would never dare to lie. Please show mercy. The woman did not dare to hesitate at all. Such a terrifying flame was definitely not something that could be taken out just for show. She had a hunch that if she hesitated for even half a breath, the flame would turn her into flying ashes. Upon seeing that Ning Cheng did not speak, but the temperature of the flame increased by a level, the primordial Tao woman was even more frightened. She hurriedly said, "Someone sent a voice transmission to me and gave me this ring. He said that as long as I did it, the ring would be mine. If I didn't, he would destroy me. I'm also at my wit's end. Senior, please have mercy. Give me the ring, and then record that person's voice for me." Ning Cheng spoke in a cold voice. The woman quickly took out the ring, and took out a jade strip that recorded the voice, before handing it over to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept into the ring and found 10 million spirit crystals inside. In addition, there were also 3 primordial Tao fruits. When Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept into the jade strip, he found that the voice coming from the jade strip was very strange. Apparently, it was done deliberately. It was impossible to find the other party through sound alone. Reluctantly putting away the jade strip, Ning Cheng left a trace of spiritual sense imprint on the 3 primordial Tao fruits and the ring before returning the ring to the female cultivator. "What's your name?" "Junior Lu Huan, Senior." After Lu Huan said this, her body trembled. Being engulfed by the holy flame was no joke. "Okay, you can go now." Ning Cheng finished and directly put away the celestial river flame. Lu Huan never thought that Ning Cheng would let her go so easily, and even gave her the ring. She quickly bowed and quickly stepped back out of the room. After Lu Huan left, Ning Cheng took out the good fortune divine spear from the ring. Previously, when he went to the Myriad World auction, he was afraid that something bad would happen, so he put away the good fortune divine spear. The good fortune divine spear had to be left outside to absorb the worldly killing power and law power. As such, the effect inside the ring was too poor. "Big Brother Ning, was that woman the one who provoked you?" Mu Yueping finally understood why Ning Cheng forcibly occupied room 91. It turned out that there was such a thing. Ning Cheng spoke up in a deep voice, "Yes, it seems that in addition to us dealing with the Mao clan, someone else wants to deal with me in the dark." The old man quickly spoke up, "Senior, which blind person came here to cause trouble?" "I, Jiang Zhong, will be at the forefront." Ning Cheng ignored Jiang Zhong's statement and spoke with a cold expression, "Old man, if chasing bull is provoked by someone, and you still dare to make things bigger and watch the fun from the sidelines, then get the hell out of here." Yes, Senior. This junior will not dare to do it again. Senior is magnanimous, this junior was too arrogant. The old man quickly apologized. "Master." Chasing Bull also felt that something was wrong and wanted to speak. Ning Cheng glared at Chasing Bull, "You have a bull's head, but your bull's head is filled with pig's offal." Ning Cheng couldn't help but feel angry. He had to deal with the Mao clan now, and it was already a bit difficult. Since the heavens beyond rest stop could open such a large rest stop, it would be strange if it was simple. Offending the heavens beyond rest stop at this time would only bring trouble to himself. Yes, Master is right. Chasing Bull didn't dare to refute. "Big Brother Ning, aren't we going to investigate the Mao clan? If we beat up that Mao Yi, I'm afraid that the Mao clan will come here soon." Mu Yueping looked worried. She was eager to go to the Mao clan to find Jiang Man. She also knew that the Mao clan was powerful. Ning Qing spoke up calmly, "It's almost impossible for us to investigate the Mao clan in the mysterious yellow heavens beyond. With the Mao clan status in the mysterious yellow heavens beyond, how can we have a chance to investigate in a short time? The best way is to beat up the dog and let the owner come over. Let's take a look at their strength." Ning Cheng was afraid that the Mao clan might have a restriction array set up by a creation realm expert. If he couldn't leave in a hurry, he might end up harming more people. The best way was to wait for the Mao clan's people to come over. Given the intensity of his attack on Mao Yi, if the Mao clan sent someone over, it would definitely be a top-notch expert. Ning Qing didn't say a word. Given the Mao clan's status, if he attacked Mao Yi, it would mean that both sides would have to fight to the death. In other words, since Mao Yi left the heavens beyond rest stop, there would be no room for negotiation. If he could kill an expert in the heavens beyond rest stop, it would only bring him benefits. Just as Ning Qing finished this sentence, a gentle voice sounded outside the restriction, "Mao clan's Mao Tai is here to meet this friend." Mu Yueping suddenly stood up. It was a completely subconscious action. Jiang Man was taken away by the Mao clan's people. Now that the Mao clan's people came, how could she not feel nervous? The restriction opened, and an extremely strong man came in. The man's hair was very short, and his strong body even covered the circulation of Dao runes. Ning Qing could see that this person's cultivation level was at the mid-stage Dao integration realm. Behind Mao Tai was Mao Yi, who had been injured by Ning Qing's punch. Mao Tai's spiritual consciousness and gaze also landed on Ning Qing at the same time. When he saw that Ning Qing was only at the primordial chaos realm, a disdainful sneer appeared in his eyes. Primordial chaos realm cultivators, be they early stage or late stage, were just ants in his eyes. Mao Yi had been living too comfortably all these years. The Mao clan had nurtured him like a treasure. All the good things had been thrown at him, yet he had cultivated such trash. He couldn't even beat a primordial chaos sacred emperor, yet he still had to go back and talk about how terrifying he was. "Did you injure my Mao family's Mao Yi?" Mao Tai no longer spoke politely like he did outside the restriction. If he hadn't wanted to maintain the Mao clan's demeanor, he might have already made a move. Ning Qing smiled faintly. "That's right. I did teach him a lesson. Such a good-for-nothing should be beaten up." The Dao runes around Mao Tai suddenly became violent, and his tone turned cold. "If my Mao family is good for nothing, it should be my Mao family who will teach them a lesson. It's not up to others to talk. Tell me, do you want me to take you away, or do you want to come with me?" "Uncle Tai, it's just a few ants. I can kill them with one punch. Even if my Mao family kills a few ants here, no one will say anything," Mao Yi, who was behind Mao Tai, said in a fierce tone. Mao Tai knew what Mao Yi meant. The Mao family had been taught a lesson in the heavens beyond rest in, so they naturally had to take it back. If they took them away, they would lose their prestige. Mao Tai's face sank. Before he could speak, he saw Ning Qing step forward and throw a punch. This punch was actually aimed at Mao Yi. Mao Tai was furious. He hadn't expected a primordial chaos sacred emperor to dare be so arrogant. Daring to attack Mao Yi in front of him, Mu Tai, was simply courting death. The next moment, his aura crazily blasted towards Ning Qing. At the same time, he also threw a punch. Boom! The Dao runes surged out, shattering all the restrictions in the room. Mao Tai felt a Dao rune aura more powerful than his punch blasting his domain. The violent Dao rune nomological power not only completely destroyed his hurried punch, but it also shocked him that he couldn't block part of the Dao rune power. Puff! Mao Yi was hit by the aftermath of this Dao rune power and turned into a blood mist. Crack! No matter how powerful the restrictions of the heavens beyond rest in were, they couldn't block the impact of Ning Cheng's punch. The wall in front of room 91 turned into nothingness. This was the result of Ning Cheng and Mao Tai's forceful control. Otherwise, this punch would have directly turned the heavens beyond rest and into ruins. Mao Tai stood in the void in front of room D91, which had lost its restrictions and door. His eyes were filled with horror. If this was the strength of a primordial chaos expert, then the heavens beyond's Tao integration experts would be trash. Who the hell are you? At this point, Mao Tai couldn't care less about Mao Yi's life and death as he stared at Ning Cheng and asked. His tone sounded a little angry, but his heart was trembling. At the moment, only one thought lingered in his mind. The Mao family had gotten into big trouble. The Mao family's patriarch was not around. In the face of such a terrifying expert, he was sure that even if he joined forces with the family head, it would be difficult to force this person to stay. Even if he defeated the other party, the Mao family would suffer one day as long as this person did not leave the heavens beyond. Who I am isn't important. What's important is that you should ask me why I'm looking for the Mao family. Ning Cheng held the creation divine spear and took a few steps forward, blocking Mao Tai's way. Mao Tai had a good plan, but he would never give Mao Tai a chance to return to the Mao family. When Mao Tai heard Ning Cheng's words, he immediately sobered up. It turned out that this person was specifically looking for trouble with the Mao clan. He took a deep breath, and secretly sent out a message, and then spoke in a slow voice, "You are looking for the Mao clan, what is the matter?" Chapter 12:10. I heard that the Mao clan has the third-ranked karma cultivation method among the 8 ancient cultivation methods. I want to borrow it for a look. Ning Cheng spoke with a calm tone. Mao Tai's expression changed, and he raised his hand to send out a message. Ning Cheng didn't care about Mao Tai's actions at all, and the good fortune divine spear directly crossed space and swept towards Mao Tai. As soon as the good fortune divine spear shot out, Ning Cheng felt something wrong. At this moment, it felt as if he had grasped the entire universe's aura in his hand and smashed it towards Mao Tai. His killing power and killing intent were already heavy, and under the good fortune divine spear's sweep, the killing power and killing intent grew even stronger. It felt as if the entire sky was crashing down. The good fortune divine spear was indeed a low-rank spirit artifact, but the moment he brought out the spirit artifact, the killing power rose to its peak. Even a top-rank spirit artifact wouldn't give Ning Cheng such a powerful feeling. Ning Cheng was pleasantly surprised, and the surging killing power swept out along with the good fortune divine spear. Space and time turned into nothingness in front of the good fortune divine spear. At this moment, the tyrannical spear intent truly turned into nothingness. Stop! An equally tyrannical imposing aura shot out diagonally. This imposing aura brought with it a murderous intent that could tear everything apart. It was as if a river had collapsed in an instant. Boom! Mao Tai immediately fell into an absolute disadvantage because of the time it took to send out a message. The good fortune divine spear tore through Mao Tai's domain and protective cover like a rag. When it collided with Mao Tai's hurried punch, it gave off an earth-shattering muffled sound. Almost at the same moment, the slanted murderous intent also slammed into the body of Ning Cheng's good fortune divine spear. Spirit essence and Tao charm filled the sky, and Ning Cheng took a few steps back. The power of the Tao charm laws suddenly exploded. Room D91 was blasted to smithereens. Even the 2 rooms beside it were blasted to smithereens. Seeing that, several cultivators who were inside hastily rushed out. A few huge golden pillars from the first floor to the top floor were also blasted into pieces by the aftermath of the Taoist rhyme. A blood mist exploded, and Mao Tai's fist and arm turned into nothingness because of the price of sending out a message. A long-haired middle-aged man descended from the sky. He did not care about Mao Tai who had been blasted to the ground floor, but rather looked at Ning Cheng in shock. Previously, he heard that there was a primordial chaos sacred emperor causing trouble in the heavens beyond rest house. Because of the fight, he even destroyed the door of the heavens beyond rest house. After hearing this news, he flew into a rage. The reason why he rushed over now was because no matter who it was, anyone who dared to make a move in the heavens beyond rest stop would be killed without question. Now, he had exchanged a blow with his opponent the moment he arrived. To be exact, he had exchanged a small half of a blow with his opponent. This was because most of the power of this move had been taken away by Mao Tai. Even now, his Daoist aura was still a little chaotic and had yet to be completely stabilized. Even his spirit essence started to surge. Ning Cheng's strength had completely exceeded his expectations. Who are you? Why are you fighting in my heavens beyond rest house and destroying my rooms? The long-haired middle-aged man took a deep breath and asked in a serious tone. At this moment, not to mention killing Ning Cheng, he felt sure that if he dared to continue, the one to die would not be the other party, but himself. Ning Cheng's gaze fell on Mao Tai, who had been blasted away by him. Mao Tai's crippled arm had already regrown, but his strength had dropped by a level. Ning Cheng also understood that the best opportunity had disappeared. Because of the sudden addition of the long-haired man, his idea of killing Mao Tai fell through. At this moment, as long as he continued to pursue, Mao Tai would never stay here and fight him head-on. Ning Cheng retracted his gaze and shifted it to the long-haired man. Who I am is not important. What's important is that you attacked me. After saying this, Ning Cheng's aura rose once again. Under Ning Cheng's powerful Daoist aura, the debris of the room started to swirl out like a tornado in all directions. After these fragments were swept away, they condensed again and turned into several incomparably huge stone balls. These stone balls floated in the air as if they would fall down at any time. Ning Cheng had long since adapted to the principle of survival in the void. A modest gentleman would die quickly. At this time, only by showing one's strength could one win respect. The long-haired man's expression changed. He forcibly stimulated his domain to block Ning Cheng's Daoist aura suppression and spoke up in a weak tone, "Your Excellency is too overbearing just because of your cultivation. Not only did you destroy my heavens beyond rest stops room, but you're also so forceful. Is there no reason in this world?" He was sure that if he dared to be a little more forceful, Ning Cheng's huge stone balls would have completely smashed the heavens beyond rest stop to pieces. Ning Cheng found it funny. When this long-haired man had first arrived, even an idiot would have realized that he wanted to kill him. Yet now, this long-haired man actually wanted to reason with him. In other words, if he had a few tricks up his sleeve, Mao Tai and this man would have killed him in the first place. If you hadn't forcefully attacked, I wouldn't have blasted the room next to me with my strength. Since you forcibly rescued Mao Tai, does Heavens Beyond want to join forces with the Mao family to attack me? If that's the case, then it would be easy. Ning Cheng no longer held back. This long-haired man was at the early stage Dao integration realm, but in his eyes, he was nothing. Compared to Go Wansheng, this guy was nothing. Friend, please don't misunderstand. My Heavens Beyond rest stop doesn't care about 1 or 2 rooms. My Heavens Beyond rest stop doesn't help anyone. I just hope that you don't fight in my rest stop, the long-haired man said without hesitation. In the face of an expert like Ning Cheng, it didn't matter if he showed some weakness. Ning Cheng cupped his fists and ignored the long-haired man. Instead, he looked at Mao Tai. Mao Tai regretted it very much. He shouldn't have underestimated Ning Cheng and even sent a message when he was about to fight Ning Cheng. The reason he sent a message was that Ning Cheng's words had something to do with the karma cultivation method. He was worried that other experts would covet the karma cultivation method, which was why he sent a message to the Mao family. If he hadn't underestimated Ning Cheng and sent a message before fighting Ning Cheng, even if he couldn't beat Ning Cheng, he could have left in one piece instead of losing an arm. The reason why he didn't leave was that he was ready to attack Ning Cheng when Ning Cheng and the Heavens Beyond manager started fighting. Now that the Heavens Beyond manager would rather admit defeat than fight, he knew that he had lost his chance. At that moment, Ning Cheng looked over and fled without hesitation, disappearing from the heavens beyond rest stop. Ning Cheng calmly glanced at the long-haired man in the heavens beyond rest stop and said to Mu Yueping and the others, "Let's go." It wasn't until Ning Cheng and the others walked out of the rest stop that the long-haired man realized that his back was drenched in cold sweat. He secretly sighed and raised his hand to send a message. Since such an expert had come to the heavens beyond, it was no longer something he could control. Whether or not he could get back at the heavens beyond rest stop depended on how the Mao family dealt with this matter. "Big brother Ning, where are we going?" Mu Yueping guessed that Ning Cheng wanted to go to the Mao family but still asked worriedly. "Of course, we're going to the Mao family," Ning Cheng said without hesitation. Since he had already beaten the grass, he didn't care if the snake was alarmed or not. The Mao family probably didn't have a third-step expert. If they had a third-step expert, they wouldn't have just watched him cut off Mao Tai's arm. If the Mao family's third-step expert couldn't control Mao Tai's condition, he wouldn't be considered a third-step expert. He had already tested them, so there was no need to continue. "This is the Mao family." Ning Cheng looked at the very ordinary fences of the small courtyard in front of him in confusion. Mu Yueping said with certainty, "Yes, this is the Mao family. The Mao family is very famous in the heavens beyond and has many industries. I even secretly asked around and found out about this place. I heard that among the famous forces in the heavens beyond, the Mao family is the most low-key. However, as long as someone provokes the Mao family will never give up even if they flee to the ends of the earth." Ning Cheng agreed with this. Although he had attacked Mao Yi previously, Mao Yi hadn't said anything. Min Quan had been scolding him from the beginning. In the end, after he had attacked Mao Yi, he had immediately provoked Mao Tai. "Let's go in and take a look." Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness landed on the restriction of the Mao family's small courtyard. Just as he was about to break the restriction by force, the door of the small courtyard suddenly opened. "Esteemed guests have come from afar. I, Mao Wuxia, have neglected to welcome you. Please forgive me." After the door of the small courtyard opened, several people came out. The person walking in front was an elegant man with a black beard. He looked very handsome, and his words were like a spring breeze that didn't make people feel disgusted. Mu Yueping sent a voice transmission behind Ning Cheng. "This person is Mao Wuxia, the family head of the Mao family. I heard that he's a late-stage primordial chaos expert." "Late-stage primordial chaos?" Ning Cheng sneered in his heart. Mao Wuxia was obviously a late-stage Dao integration expert. However, his cultivation level was hidden at the late-stage primordial chaos. Although his Dao runes were scattered, he had done so intentionally. Mao Wuxia's real Dao runes were condensed and extremely rich, which was definitely stronger than Mao Tai's cultivation level. The Mao family is despicable and shameless. They kill people and take their treasures. Mao Zhenyu is a bastard, and Mao Wuxia is a bastard among bastards. One day, Grandpa will annihilate your entire Mao clan and turn them into powder." A furious voice suddenly resounded. Ning Cheng was shocked and immediately took a step back. This voice had come so suddenly that his spiritual consciousness hadn't even discovered it. It was only now that he discovered where the voice had come from. It was the figure of a man floating in the air. This figure was faintly discernible, as if it would disappear at any time. Moreover, the more this illusory figure scolded, the more vicious the words came out. Ning Cheng was very puzzled. Mao Wuxia was standing at the door of the small courtyard to welcome him. However, when Mao Wuxia heard this voice, his expression turned extremely ugly and he didn't do anything to the man in the air. Chapter 12:11. How could the Mao clan be so tolerant? They were simply enduring tortoises. Ning Cheng suddenly felt relieved when he saw Mao Wuxiao take the initiative to open the door and greet him with enthusiasm. If they could endure this kind of vicious abuse, then what else could the Mao clan not endure? Ning Qing smiled and directly swept out with his spiritual consciousness. The restrictions in the small courtyard were immediately broken by his spiritual consciousness, and a rich spiritual aura rushed out. A small world-like world appeared in front of everyone. This was not a small courtyard, it was clearly a paradise. Sorry, I saw that the spiritual consciousness shielding restriction here was good, so I wanted to move around a bit. I didn't expect the environment of the Mao clan to be this good. This place is completely different from the outside. Ning Qing paused slightly. He suddenly understood why the Mao clan allowed people to insult them here and did not do anything to those who insulted them. This vague figure suspended in the air was clearly a cultivator's avatar. This avatar had a very powerful spirit technique called Void Teleportation Spirit Technique. Obviously, the cultivator who stood in front of the Mao clan's door and cursed was not here, but somewhere else. Once the Mao clan's people attacked his avatar could instantly teleport to the place where the main body was. Therefore, despite the harsh words, Mao Wuxiao could not do anything to him. One could be sure that this was not the first time. Ning Qing knew about the Void Teleportation Spirit Technique. This spirit technique was very difficult to learn, and the conditions to learn it were also very harsh. The materials needed to sculpt the avatar's body were even more precious. The biggest advantage of this spirit technique was that it allowed one to escape. In addition, once the avatar's strength reached the same level as the main body, then the avatar could also help the main body in battle. Ning Qing had seen this spirit technique and had the opportunity to learn this spirit technique. However, he had no interest in this spirit technique. The main reason was still related to his temperament. To learn this spirit technique, one first had to find the best materials to sculpt the avatar. After sculpting the avatar, one had to cut off a wisp of their spiritual soul and integrate it into the created avatar. However, these were not the reasons why Ning Qing was disgusted. What Ning Qing disliked was that as the avatar grew, the avatar would develop an independent mind. In general, this situation did not affect the avatar, because the avatar would not grow faster than the main body. However, this wasn't absolute. Once the main body was restricted, it was possible for the clone to surpass the main body, and it was even possible for it to become an existence with its own thoughts. What made Ning Qing even more disgusted was that the avatar represented himself. This meant that when the avatar and the true body's Tao companion were together, the true body's Tao companion would not reject the avatar. Most cultivators would think that this kind of thing was normal, but Ning Qing did not like this kind of existence. Although Ning Qing did not cultivate the avatar spirit technique, he knew that this spirit technique was indeed powerful. Hearing Ning Qing's words, Mao Wuxiao's face turned stiff and spoke up in a somewhat unnatural manner, "This Mao clan is too stingy." They even used an isolation restriction to block everyone's line of sight. "Friends, please come in. The Mao family will do our best to entertain you." Ning Qing showed a faint smile, as his spiritual consciousness attack once again swept out, while simultaneously throwing out a few array flags. The Mao family's hidden killing array, defensive array, spirit gathering array, with all the array formations exposed in front of everyone, Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness swept through each and every one of the array formations, checking to see if there was any threat. "I'm a bit timid, so I have to check if there are any trap and kill arrays that pose a threat to me." Ning Qing's spiritual consciousness swept through the array formations while speaking as if nothing had happened. Mao Wuxiao's face turned livid, but he still spoke up calmly, "It's only right. My Mao family doesn't have anything to hide." Mao Wuxiao still endured. As long as Ning Qing didn't destroy the Mao family's array formations, he wouldn't make a move immediately. Even if he wanted to make a move, he would lure Ning Qing into the Mao family's depths. "Hey, are you also here to find trouble with the Mao family's beasts?" The illusory man standing in the void suddenly solidified and landed beside Ning Qing. Ning Qing looked at this solidified man in doubt. Although he knew that this man was an avatar, he still felt a little surprised. This avatar's strength had advanced to the late-stage Tao Essence realm. From the looks of it, the main body was at least a primordial chaos holy emperor. Aren't you afraid that if someone attacks you, I won't help you? Ning Cheng looked at this unbelievably young avatar and spoke with a slight smile. The young man spat at the entrance of the Mao family's small courtyard, then cupped his fists towards Ning Cheng and spoke, "Senior won't. There's a good saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Even if we aren't friends, Senior will definitely not let Mao Wuxiao, this uncultured man, make a move against me. My strength is indeed not enough for the Mao family, and I'm still far from Senior's level. However, I can still wave the flag for Senior. At least, I don't even put those small fries of the Mao family in my eyes." Mao Wuxiao's hands trembled in anger, but even so, he still held back and did not attack this young avatar. Ning Cheng showed a non-committal smile. "It's not impossible for me to protect you, but your true body must be here. If your true body is not here, then once something happens, you can walk away at any time. However, I can't. This is not the reason for cooperation, nor is it the sincerity of cooperation." The avatar man laughed, and a ripple-shaped sway suddenly appeared around his body. In just a few breaths, his cultivation rose sharply. From the late-stage primordial Tao, he directly advanced to the late-stage primordial chaos. After more than a dozen breaths, the swaying ripples disappeared. A red-haired young man appeared in front of Ning Cheng and the others. Compared to the previous avatar, this red-haired young man had a trace of bloody aura, which showed how much killing he had experienced. The red-haired young man's body solidified and said to Ning Cheng, "My name is Yu Yu. In order to show my sincerity, my true body and avatar have merged. I also want to tell you that once you fail, even if my true body and avatar merge, I will still escape. I have many ways to escape. If the Mao family wants to keep me, hee." Ning Cheng nodded with a smile, appreciating Yu Yu's decisiveness. He knew about the doppelganger teleportation spirit technique. Apart from the doppelganger being able to instantly teleport to the location of the true body could also instantly teleport to the location of the doppelganger. Since Yu Yu let his doppelganger fuse with the true body, it meant that he did not intend to use this method to escape. "My name is Ning Cheng. You can rest assured that the Mao family can't pose a threat to you." Ning Cheng simply ignored Mao Wuxiao, who was standing on the side. As for the person behind Mao Wuxiao, he directly ignored him. "Senior can use your spiritual consciousness to directly break through the Mao family's isolation restriction. Senior's spear looks very good." Yu Yu naturally couldn't see through Ning Cheng's long spear. But he felt strange. With Ning Cheng's strength, why would he carry a low-rank spirit artifact on his back instead of putting it in his ring? The only explanation was that Ning Cheng was looking down on the Mao family. "Family head Mao, you can take us to the Mao family. By the way, I told Mao Tai before that my main purpose for coming here today is to hear that the Mao family has the third-ranked karma cultivation method among the 8 ancient cultivation methods. Therefore, I want to see it. Family head Mao won't refuse, right?" Ning Cheng deliberately patted the good fortune divine spear on his back and spoke in a casual tone. Mao Wuxiao spoke up with a gloomy expression, "Dao friend Ning must be joking. The Mao family does not have such an earth-shattering cultivation method. Since the few of you have come to the Mao family, then please come in. I, Mao Wuxiao, like to have friends from afar. Even if I can't come up with something that can satisfy the few of you, my Mao family will not let you return empty-handed. Mao Wuxiao, you old fart. My brother's grand formless cultivation method was stolen by your Mao family using the most despicable and shameless means. The grand formless cultivation method is an important part of the karma cultivation method. Do you dare say that you don't have a karma cultivation method? Not only did your Mao family steal the cultivation method, but you also killed my brother's entire family. I, Yu Yu, have already sworn that I will never let your Mao family leave behind a chicken in this life. Yu Yu's expression turned grim, and his words contained a strong murderous intent. When the old fart heard about the grand formless cultivation method, his whole body trembled with excitement. In this place, only he, Jiang Zhong, knew about the terror of the grand formless cultivation method. He cultivated the minor formless cultivation method, which made him almost invincible in the same realm. He heard that the minor formless cultivation method was only a small part of the karma cultivation method. However, the grand formless cultivation method was the most important component of the karma cultivation method. Although he did not say anything, he was already thinking about how to make the senior give him a copy of the grand formless cultivation method. As for whether Ning Cheng could obtain the grand formless cultivation method or not, he simply did not care about it. Mao Wuxiao had suffered too many insults, but he did not say anything. Instead, he just led the way with a sullen face. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness kept an eye on the surrounding trap and kill arrays. Once he found an array formation that he could not see through, or felt that he could not break it in a short time, he would not go in again. The Mao family looked very calm, as if they really wanted to treat Ning Cheng and the others as distinguished guests. After walking for the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, Mao Wuxiao suddenly stopped, then slowly turned around to look at Ning Cheng and the others and spoke, "Only my Mao family can humiliate others, no one can humiliate my Mao family. Today, the few of you have humiliated my Mao family several times, do you think that my Mao family is easy to bully? Do it." After Mao Wuxiao finished this sentence, his figure faded away. Ning Cheng's icebound space moved quickly, but in the end, it only managed to freeze a faint shadow of Mao Wuxiao. This faint shadow quickly lost its vitality. From the looks of it, Mao Wuxiao had forcibly cut off its Dao charm. No matter what happens, everyone stand in place and don't move. Ning Cheng had just finished this sentence when everything around him turned into an irrelevant scene. Whether it was Mu Yueping, Chasing Bull, the old fogey or Yu Yu, all of them had disappeared. Ning Cheng's heart sank. This was definitely an illusory array, but he had not seen it before. In other words, the Tao of arrays arranged by the Mao family was at least not any weaker than him in the Tao of arrays. Since a mere illusory array couldn't kill him, Ning Cheng no longer held back his spiritual consciousness and forcefully blasted out. At this moment, what he cared about was the killer behind this illusory array. Chapter 12:12. In the face of this illusion array, even the old fogey did not dare to move, and could only obey Ning Cheng's words. The old fogey obviously had a lot more experience compared to Mu Yueping and Chasing Bull. He knew that behind this powerful illusory array was a killing array. Even if they just sat there and did not move, as long as Ning Cheng did not break the killing array in the shortest possible time, they would still be killed by the killing array. The old fogey closed his eyes as he watched the flames that were like rolling blades rushing at him, followed by the needles that were as dense as a rainforest. Based on his experience, even if there was a killing array, it wouldn't be this fast. The first wave of flames and rainforest was merely the killing intent of the illusory array. There was no need to dodge such things. Instead, one would be able to hide into the killing array even faster after dodging. But Mu Yueping and Chasing Bull were different. Facing this terrifying killing power, they did not even know how to resist it. Mu Yueping, on the other hand, kept Ning Cheng's words in mind. No matter what kind of killing power bombarded her, she remained motionless. In the face of this killing power, Chasing Bull almost knelt on the ground without any resistance. It wanted to escape immediately, but it really didn't have the ability to do so. Just a single illusory array's killing intent had suppressed Chasing Bull to the point that it couldn't move. Yu Yu didn't move either. The old fart had a lot of experience, but so did he. Furthermore, he knew that this was the Mao family's immortal slaughtering illusory killing array. Within this illusory killing array, there were two waves of illusory killing intent. After 2 waves of illusory killing intent, it was time for the true killing array to come crashing down. Amidst the killing intent of this illusion formation, one could feel the pain of a saber tearing through one's body, but one would not die. Once the illusory array's killing intent passed, if he still couldn't break the array and couldn't escape, he could only wait for death. Yu Yuan, seeing Ning Cheng use his spiritual consciousness to break through the spiritual consciousness restriction of the Mao clan, immediately had high expectations for Ning Cheng. The Mao family was powerful not only because they had many top-notch experts, but also because of their immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array. The Mao family had snatched the major artifice technique, so he was determined to get his hands on it. Therefore, when he saw Ning Cheng taking action against the Mao family, he immediately wanted to join in on the fun. Even if Ning Cheng failed, it would not matter, at most he would have to escape. No one knew that he had 3 doppelgangers instead of 1. Even if he fell into the immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array, he would be fine. When the first wave of murderous attacks hit everyone, Mu Yueping felt that her entire body was torn apart, but she couldn't see any injuries. This kind of terrifying mental pain almost made her faint. The old man leisurely took out the Heavenly Alliance's Stardew and took a sip. He had asked Esau for this wine. He was experienced, so it was not surprising that he knew about the killing intent of the illusory formation. If after a few waves of killing intents from the illusion array, Ning Cheng still could not open the illusion array, then he would have to escape first. In contrast, Chasing Bull felt the most relaxed. Faced with this terrifying killing power suppression, Chasing Bull simply fainted. As the first wave of killing power arrived, Ning Cheng still did not move, while his spiritual consciousness had already permeated out. After such a powerful illusory array was a killing array. In fact, it was an illusory killing array. He also knew this. However, he had to break the illusory array first. With his powerful body refinement cultivation, this kind of illusory killing force wouldn't cause any harm to him at all. It wouldn't even have any effect on him deducing the illusory array. With the first wave of killing power from the slaughter immortal illusory killing array, Ning Cheng had already formed a rough layout of the illusory array in his mind. He refined a special array flag, and by this time, the second wave of killing power from the illusory array had already descended. Boulders fell from the sky. These boulders were mixed in with some of the bigger stone mountains, and they blasted towards each and every one of them. As long as one remained in this illusory array, even if one shut off their 6 senses, it would give them a feeling of being crushed into powder. Mu Yueping gritted her teeth and let the boulders fall. She knew that even if she tried to escape, she could not escape from the illusory array. She might as well listen to Ning Cheng and stay here. The old man's expression turned solemn. He knew that this illusory array would most likely turn into a real killing array after this wave of attacks. If Ning Cheng could not break the array after a while, then he would have to leave first. Yu Yu looked at the sky full of boulders and stone mountains crashing down with disappointment in his eyes. From the looks of it, this Ning Cheng did not have much of an ability. He even recklessly broke into the Mao clan's territory. Boom boom boom. The bombardment of boulders and stone mountains within the illusory array looked exactly the same as the real one. The second wave of bombardment, despite being an attack from the illusory array, still caused the old man to vomit blood. Mu Yueping, on the other hand, directly fell to the ground and fainted. As for Chasing Bull, its figure could not be seen on the ground. As for Yu Yu, after enduring such a terrifying bombardment, his body only shook a few times before returning to its original state. Yu Yu's expression turned a little ugly. Ning Cheng's death was not a big deal, but it also exposed the fact that he had a second avatar. The avatar was his secret, and every time it was exposed, it was a loss for him. The killing intent within the illusory array condensed once again, and the killing power was even more terrifying than the previous few times. Yu Yu sighed, and his figure swayed slightly. Ripples appeared around his body before his figure disappeared completely. The next wave of attacks definitely would not be an illusory array attack, but a real killing array attack. The killing array attack of the slaughtering immortal illusionary killing array was not something that ordinary people could resist. If he did not leave at this time, then when would he leave? The old man stood in the same place with a bitter face, holding a talisman in his hand. He wanted to use it, but also felt a little reluctant. This time, after he restored his corporeal body, the first thing he did was to find an escape talisman that could allow him to escape in an instant. It was not easy to find it, but unfortunately, he would have to use it so soon. The rumbling sounds coming from the illusory killing array grew louder and louder, and the entire space shook from the rumbling sounds. The oppressive death aura made it difficult for people to breathe, and the dense killing power condensed within this terrifying death aura. Ning Qing knew that this wave contained the real killing intent, and he had just finished refining the last array flag. Just when the killing power was about to reach his head, Ning Qing suddenly stood up and raised his hand to throw out several array flags. The surrounding fog-like scene disappeared in an instant, and the entire space suddenly became clear. This was still the Mao clan's backyard, the same place where they had fallen into the illusory array. A blade-like vortex with a deathly aura descended, and the vortex targeted the position of the few people. Further away, dozens of Mao clan's experts all brought out their weapons and stared at the killing array with surging killing intent. Apparently, once someone escaped from the killing array, they would be blasted back again. Ning Qing gave a cold snort and raised his hand to throw out hundreds of array flags. However, his gaze remained fixed on Yu Yu's position. Yu Yu had escaped, and he also knew about the method of escape. It was the doppelganger teleportation spirit technique. From this, it could be seen that Yu Yu had more than one doppelganger. Since it wasn't just one, then it wasn't just two. This Yu Yu truly hid himself very deeply. He came here to help, but once he destroyed the Mao clan, maybe he would have to give him the great phaseless spirit technique. Once he couldn't beat him, he could easily escape. However, he still acted as if he was willing to open his heart and confide in him. Previously, he had already said that he could escape. In other words, even if he escaped, he wouldn't have a bad impression of Ning Qing. This Yu Yu wasn't simple. However, since Ning Qing had already escaped, he could only dream about taking away the great phaseless technique from his hands for free. Ning Qing's dozens of array flags fell down, and the surroundings of the killing array once again turned blurry. A powerful Dao charm aura surged out. This Dao charm aura condensed into a powerful blocking force that swept away the blade-like maelstrom heading towards Chasing Bull and Mu Yueping. The old fogey put away the escape talisman in embarrassment and brought out the heaven and earth cauldron. The heaven and earth cauldron turned into a cauldron mountain and absorbed all the blade-like maelstrom heading towards him. Ning Qing had already broken through the illusory array, and the surrounding laws were already very clear. If he couldn't block these blade-like maelstrom, then he might as well buy a piece of tofu and crash into it. What's going on? Why can't we see them? A Mao clan's elder with Dao fusion cultivation suddenly spoke up in surprise. Mao Wuqing snorted, "You don't need to remind us. Everyone knows." Mao Tai, whose cultivation had dropped a lot, spoke up with a gloomy expression, "This person can't be underestimated. He's very strange. He should have broken through our slaughtering immortal illusionary killing array and isolated our spiritual consciousness and sight with an array formation. Everyone, be careful. Although the slaughtering immortal illusionary killing array isn't an ancient array formation, it's not easy to break it. I guess he must have found the life gate of the array formation and opened it." A sinister-looking old man spoke up in a sharp voice. "Alas, it's a pity. If the slaughtering immortal illusionary killing array didn't have a life gate, then I'd like to see what he could do." A Mao clan's junior with low cultivation who didn't understand array formations muttered. "Idiot, how can there be death without life? If you don't understand array formations, then don't embarrass yourself here. Everyone, shut up. Mao Kai, Zhenyu, you two continue to lead the others to activate the slaughtering immortal illusionary killing array. Little brother Tai and I will lead 3 Dao fusion cultivators into the confinement killing array. With the strength shown by Ning Cheng, I'm afraid that the confinement killing array alone won't be enough. Mao Wuqing spoke with a solemn expression. But a man with cultivation no weaker than Mao Tai spoke hesitantly before Mao Wuqing interrupted him. There's no but. Have you forgotten how the Lu clan disappeared back then? How could the Lu clan's array be weaker than our Mao clans? Wasn't the Lu clan destroyed by a primordial chaos sacred emperor? Don't forget that when the Lu clan was destroyed, Lu Qianhe was still in heavens beyond. With Mao Wuqing's words, no one dared to say anything else. Everyone quickly separated. Before anyone could make a move, everyone from the Mao clan felt the surrounding space turn dark. An aura that suppressed and trembled even their souls blasted over. The aura of death instantly filled the surrounding space. Oh no, we've fallen into a confinement array. The old man with the sharp voice sounded a little panicked. Mao Wuqing's heart sank. He hadn't expected Ning Cheng's array Dao level to be so powerful. In a short time, he had not only broken the Mao clan's immortal slaughtering confinement killing array but also used the immortal slaughtering array to set up a counter-killing array without anyone from the Mao clan noticing. This counter-killing array must have used the immortal slaughtering confinement killing array. Otherwise, it would have been impossible to set it up so quickly. Since the Mao clan likes confinement arrays so much, I'll use the confinement array to test the Mao clan's array Dao experts today. Ning Cheng's slightly cold voice rang in every Mao clan member's ears. Chapter 12-13. Mao Wuxiao's heart sank. The Mao clan did not have any array Dao experts here. The immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array was the Mao clan's defensive array formation, which had been set up a long time ago. As long as there were array flags, it could be controlled. There was no need to be proficient in array formations. Ning Cheng could control the immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array and use it against the Mao clan. His array Dao level was many times stronger than the Mao clan's. If the Mao clan did not find a way to break out of this trap array, they would end up like the Lu clan. In fact, Mao Wuxiao was overthinking. Ning Cheng's array Dao level was strong, but not strong enough to use the immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array to kill the Mao clan in such a short time. He had just set up a blindfold restriction array, which could not block a blow from the Mao clan's Dao integration expert. As long as Mao Wuxiao made a move, the trap array would disappear immediately. Then, they would have to fight with their real strength. Stop. Daoist Ning, we can discuss anything. If we really fight, it will be an unresolvable hatred. Mao Wuxiao shouted decisively. Mao Wuxiao was very cautious and did not make a move. He was not very proficient in the array Dao, but the immortal slaughtering illusionary killing array was safer if it did not move at the beginning. Boom! The trap array space roared, and an illusory bridge shadow appeared in the minds of all the Mao clan members in the trap array. Following that, streams of black mist rose up from the entrapment array. In a short period of time, the black mist formed a huge millstone. The huge millstone began to rotate slowly. 7 Bridges Spiritual Technique. Mao Wuxiao screamed and then shouted, "Do it! We can't let this millstone rotate." As the millstone rotated, the invisible stone bridge became clearer in his consciousness, and the killing aura in the trap array space became more intense. Once this huge millstone completely rolled up, how terrifying would it be? At this time, even if Mao Wuxiao was afraid of the array formation, he did not dare to continue waiting. Stop! A terrifying aura that made people tremble followed the voice. Even with Ning Cheng's strength, he had to take a few steps back. Ning Cheng did not think about it and directly removed the Mao clan's trap array. At the same time, he retreated to the side of Mu Yueping and Chasing Bull, who had yet to react, and stopped attacking. The fifth reincarnation bridge also disappeared. Ning Cheng had already made up his mind to tear through the void and escape at any time. Even if he had to burn his lifespan and essence blood, he had to tear through the void in this place. Ning Cheng was sure that he had never seen such a powerhouse before. Even Yi Sa, who was at the perfected Tao integration stage, would be nothing in the face of such an expert. Ning Cheng suspected that this person was most likely a third-step Tao confirming expert. This person didn't attack him as soon as he arrived, only suppressing him with his aura. It was obvious that he wasn't from the Mao family. His trapping array was just a paper tiger, so he might as well remove it himself to give the visitor some face. Ning Cheng had just retreated to Mu Yueping and Chasing Bull's side when a yellow-browed man landed between the Mao clan and Ning Cheng. This time, Ning Cheng paid special attention to the Tao charm aura coming from this yellow-browed man. It gave him a feeling of vastness, like a universe of its own, unfathomable depths. Seeing this man's cultivation, Ning Cheng suddenly thought of his creation divine spear. When he shot out his creation divine spear, it also carried the same kind of aura as if it could smash out an entire universe. Was this the aura of a third-step world creation realm expert? Ning Cheng frowned slightly. He wondered if a third-step world creation realm expert was really that terrifying. This yellow-browed man's aura was vast, and Ning Cheng was sure that the other party's strength wasn't something he could block. However, this strength was still far from the third step in his heart. Ning Cheng couldn't imagine how powerful a third-step expert would be, but he definitely would be much stronger than this yellow-browed man. This was just a feeling of strength. Ning Cheng always felt that this yellow-browed man lacked something in terms of the Tao charm aura. That missing thing seemed to be a must for becoming a third-step expert. His current strength was only at the early stage primordial chaos. Although he had this feeling, he couldn't describe it clearly. Mao Wuxiao was pleasantly surprised when he saw the visitor. Plus, Ning Cheng had put away the trapping array. He quickly reached out to stop the other Mao clan disciples from attacking. He stepped forward and bowed. Mao clan's Mao Wuxiao greets Tao Monarch Heavenly Master, Tao Monarch Heavenly Master. Ning Cheng had some doubts, but he didn't speak. He had already given face to this expert by stopping. If the other party continued to be aggressive, he could leave with Chasing Bull and Mu Yueping. As for the old fart, Ning Cheng knew that he had a way to escape. Moreover, Ning Cheng had already seen the old fart's selfish behavior. Mu Yueping came back to her senses and hurried to Ning Cheng's side. She bowed to the yellow-browed man and greeted him. "Greetings, Tao Monarch Heavenly Master." After saying that, she said to Ning Cheng, "Big brother Ning, this is the top expert of heavens beyond, Heavenly Master Tao Monarch Feng." Mu Yueping knew that her voice transmission was useless. In front of the Heavenly Master, she couldn't even think about using a voice transmission. She had never seen Feng Huangmei before and only knew that he was the Heavenly Master of heavens beyond. The yellow-browed man nodded and said to Ning Cheng, "Yes, I'm Feng Huangmei of heavens beyond. However, I'm not the top expert of heavens beyond. Daoist Ning's array Dao is amazing, and your strength is so powerful that I'm amazed. However, I promised Mao Tianqi of the Mao family that I would protect the Mao family from being destroyed before he returns. If the Mao family has really offended you, I hope you can give me face and let's sit down and discuss it." After Feng Huangmei said that, Ning Cheng knew that it would be very difficult to continue attacking the Mao family today. In fact, he did not have many regrets. Just now, he had already seen that apart from Mao Tai and Mao Wuyao, the Mao family had another Dao integration expert who was slightly stronger than Mao Tai. If he wanted to kill 3 Dao integration experts and those primordial chaos experts, he might have to use his trump card and pay a certain price. Dealing with 1 Dao integration expert and 2 Dao integration experts was not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. The effect of 1 + 1 was definitely far greater than 2. In a place like Heavens Beyond, it was fine to expose some strength. The key was that he could not be injured. If he was injured, no matter how fast he recovered, accidents might happen. Besides, Feng Huangmei was the heavenly master of heavens beyond. How could he be the heavenly master without some strength? Once he was injured, Feng Huangmei would definitely take him down at all costs. What puzzled Ning Cheng was that if Feng Huangmei was a creation realm expert, why would he be so polite to him? He could just attack him directly. Although he knew that Feng Huangmei could not take him down even if he attacked him, it was the simplest and most effective way to do so. After all, Feng Huangmei did not know who Ning Cheng was. Although Ning Cheng did not understand why Feng Huangmei was so polite to Ning Cheng, most of the sacred emperors of the Mao family knew very well. Back then, the person who had destroyed the Lu family had also been a primordial chaos sacred emperor with a higher cultivation level than Ning Cheng. When that primordial chaos sacred emperor had destroyed the Lu family, Lu Qianhe had not arrived immediately. At that time, Feng Huangmei had also attacked, but he had not gained much of an upper hand. After Lu Qianhe had arrived, Feng Huangmei had retreated decisively. The primordial chaos sacred emperor and Lu Qianhe had fought out of heavens beyond. After that, Lu Qianhe had not returned to heavens beyond, but that primordial chaos expert had. He had been invited to a banquet in heavens beyond because Feng Huangmei had suggested it. At this banquet, Feng Huangmei had lowered his posture and taken the initiative to toast. Only then did this matter come to an end. After this incident, Feng Huangmei had kept a much lower profile in heavens beyond. Mao Wuxiao knew very well that given the potential and strength that Ning Cheng had displayed, if Ning Cheng had attacked the Mao family regardless of everything, Feng Huangmei would definitely not have participated. At most, he would have just stood by and watched. The reason Feng Huangmei had come was because he had an agreement with the Mao family's patriarch, Mao Tianqi. Mao Wuxiao knew the reason behind this, but Ning Cheng did not. He was worried that the Mao family and Feng Huangmei would join forces to deal with him, so he naturally did not dare to make a move. Ning Cheng said calmly, "I'm here today for 3 things. If I can't achieve them, I will not hesitate to attack even if the Heavenly Master Dao Lord interferes." Even if he did not attack, Ning Cheng did not want to weaken the other party in the negotiation. Mao Wuxiao did not dare to wait for Feng Huangmei to express his stance. Thus, he said directly, "The Mao family has no enmity with Daoist Ning. If we have offended you in any way, the Mao family is willing to apologize." After saying this, Mao Wuxiao also felt aggrieved. The Mao family was one of the 6 major forces in heavens beyond. Since when had it become so timid? Feng Huangmei did not speak, obviously tacitly agreeing to Ning Cheng and Mao Wuxiao's words. Ning Cheng already understood in his heart that Feng Huangmei's support for the Mao family was only to prevent him from attacking. He would not join forces with the Mao family to deal with him. Since he knew this, Ning Cheng said without any scruples, "Back then, the Mao family auctioned the divine power Nirvana flame divine power to find people with karma cultivation techniques. In the end, they took my friend Jiang Man away and have not heard from him since. Since the Heavenly Master Dao Lord Feng of Heavens Beyond is here, I naturally have to give him face. However, if the Mao family cannot send my friend Jiang Man out today, I will definitely kill them all." Ning Cheng's last sentence was filled with killing intent. Obviously, he would immediately attack if Mao Wuxiao dared to say that there was no such thing. Feng Huangmei frowned slightly. Ning Cheng had given him face. However, Ning Cheng's attitude was tough, so it was obvious that he had not given him much face. Mao Wuxiao's face suddenly turned ugly. He had not expected that Ning Cheng would come because of this matter. From the beginning to the end, he had thought that Ning Cheng had found an excuse to kill Mao Yi because he knew that the Mao family had a karma cultivation technique divine power. How can the Mao family have a karma cultivation technique? I wonder who Jiang Man is. Mao Yi felt that it was a little difficult for him to say this. If it had been an ordinary matter, he would have agreed directly. However, the karma cultivation technique was something that the patriarch wanted to find. How could he dare to make the decision? Moreover, Ning Cheng would definitely have something else to say after sending Jiang Man out. Moreover, Feng Huangmei had converged his imposing aura, which clearly indicated that he wanted him to compromise with Ning Cheng. When Mu Yueping heard this, her eyes suddenly turned red. She was most worried about Jiang Man's death. The connection with Mu, clan, had died, Cheng, and had family. Mu Cheng, was. Family Cheng had's Jiang Cheng had, who was still. Jiang Feng's Cheng. He Jiang. Cheng also Jiang Cheng. Was still. He. Cheng didn't Cheng, not. Alive. Cheng. He. Man, he. Jiang Man Cheng. It was indeed Jiang Man who was brought over, but Jiang Man without a physical body. Jiang Man's essence spirit was sealed in a crystal ball. The essence spirit was crooked and extremely scattered. It looked like it could collapse at any time. Jiang Man was a Tao incarnation sage emperor at the peak of Tao birth. Even if his essence spirit lived for millions of years, it wouldn't collapse. The crystal ball released a yin qi. Obviously, Jiang Man's essence spirit was burned by the power of the yin fire. Ning Cheng clenched his fists. He knew why Jiang Man hadn't died yet. The real karma cultivation method wasn't with Jiang Man, but with him. Brother man. Mu Yueping called out in a hoarse voice. Her voice was so weak that it couldn't be heard. The crooked essence spirit in the crystal ball trembled slightly because of the hoarse voice. It looked even more scattered. Mu Yueping quickly covered her mouth and didn't dare to make a sound. But her tears flowed down like a river bursting its banks. Mao Wuxiao handed the crystal ball to Feng Huangmei and said apologetically to Ning Cheng, Dao friend Ning, Jiang Man has been handed over to Heavenly Master Dao Monarch. His body suffered some damage, but my Mao clan will definitely double the compensation. I asked Dao friend Ning to return Mao Kai to my Mao clan. Ning Cheng didn't speak and just looked at Feng Huangmei. Feng Huangmei sighed and handed Jiang Man's crystal ball to Ning Cheng. Dao friend Ning, I'm also sorry that this happened. Fortunately, Mao Wuxiao doesn't deny it. Since there is compensation, let's discuss it. Ning Cheng nodded and took Jiang Man's essence spirit. He instantly melted the yin fire and took out a medicinal pill that turned into mist and entered the crystal ball. Then, he didn't return Jiang Man's essence spirit to Mu Yueping. Instead, he said to Mu Yueping, Junior apprentice sister Yueping, brother Jiang is unwell. Stay with me for the time being. Mu Yueping nodded silently with tears. She knew that only Ning Cheng could help Jiang Man now. Seeing Ning Cheng put away Jiang Man's essence spirit with a calm expression, Mao Wuxiao felt a bit relieved. With Ning Cheng's strength, as long as Jiang Man's essence spirit remained, it should be possible for him to restore his corporeal body. The only difficulty was that after restoring his corporeal body, his cultivation would drop significantly, and his qualifications would also drop. Unless he used a top-grade treasure to reconstruct his corporeal body, it was just that even his Mao clan would find it difficult to find such a treasure. Dao friend Ning, can you now return my Mao clan's Mao Kai? Looking at Ning Cheng holding Mao Kai in his hands like a chicken, Mao Wuxiao spoke up again helplessly. Ning Cheng gave an "n" sound and spoke up calmly, one thing at a time. After this matter is resolved, we can exchange Mao Kai. Mao Wuxiao quickly spoke up, then I asked Dao friend Ning to speak. As for the compensation, although my Mao clan has been short on resources recently, we will try our best to satisfy Dao friend Ning. That's easy to say. Ning Cheng's tone turned even more gentle. First of all, take out Jiang Man's ring and everything inside Jiang Man's ring. It's here. Soon, someone brought out Jiang Man's ring. Ning Cheng's spiritual consciousness swept through it and handed the ring to Mu Yueping. See what's missing. At the same time, he sent a sound transmission to Mu Yueping, asking Mu Yueping to say that a cultivation method was missing. Mu Yueping didn't dare to send a sound transmission in front of Feng Huangmei, but Ning Cheng didn't feel any pressure sending a sound transmission. Although Feng Huangmei was strong, he still couldn't catch Ning Cheng's sound transmission. Mu Yueping's spiritual consciousness swept inside and then spoke up in a hoarse voice, "It's all brother man's things, only a cultivation method is missing." Okay. Ning Cheng looked at Mao Wuxiao and continued, "Take out the Nirvana Flame Spirit technique that Jiang Man bought at the auction and the missing karma cultivation method from Jiang Man's ring." Mao Wuxiao's face suddenly turned gloomy. He was most afraid of Ning Cheng saying this, and now Ning Cheng really said it. He subconsciously looked at Feng Huangmei and found that Feng Huangmei was looking into the distance, seemingly studying the slaughter immortal illusionary killing array that Ning Cheng had broken before, and didn't care about him at all. Mao Wuxiao took in a deep breath and spoke up in a deep voice, "The Nirvana Flame Spirit technique indeed belongs to Jiang Man, but we didn't find the karma cultivation method in Jiang Man's ring. If we found this cultivation method, maybe Jiang Man would have already died." Ning Cheng didn't comment, "Then take out the Nirvana Flame Spirit technique." While talking, Ning Cheng raised his hand, and the first bridge of coping, the second Looking Home Bridge, and the third Forgetting River Bridge descended with surging Dao charm. A cold aura of death instantly filled the entire Mao clan, and the tumbling blood river felt as if it would swallow up the entire Mao clan at any time. Mao Wuxiao's expression changed drastically. He knew that Ning Cheng was just giving him a warning, because the fifth reincarnation bridge that Ning Cheng brought out wasn't one of them. Feng Huangmei looked at the three bridges brought out by Ning Cheng and showed a cautious expression. Since Ning Cheng could bring out 3 bridges, it meant that Ning Cheng still had 4 bridges that he hadn't brought out. The most powerful aspect of the 7 bridges spirit technique was when all 7 bridges came out. Once all 7 bridges came out, even if Ning Cheng's strength wasn't as good as his, even he would find it hard to resist. Thinking of this, Feng Huangmei didn't want to care about the Mao clan's matters and turned his gaze away once again. "It's the Nirvana Flame Spirit technique." Mao Wuxiao sighed and could only leave the Nirvana Flame Spirit technique to Ning Cheng. Ning Cheng didn't put away the 3 bridges and still spoke up calmly, "There's also the Karma Spirit technique." Ning Cheng didn't know if the Mao clan had the Karma Spirit technique or not, but he felt sure that the Great Phaseless Spirit technique was in the Mao clan. Yu had personally said it. But Ning Cheng wasn't sure if the Karma Spirit technique that Jiang Man gave him was complete or not. That's because he hadn't even seen the Karma Spirit technique that Jiang Man gave him. Mao Wuxiao trembled with anger. He had heard Ning Cheng's words before and thought that Ning Cheng wouldn't want the Karma Spirit technique after obtaining the Nirvana Flame Spirit technique. It seemed that he was too naive. Sure enough, a dog that bites doesn't bark. This Ning Cheng had a calm look on his face, as if he could easily get rid of him. Only now did he realize that this was just the beginning. A chill rose in his heart. This Ning Cheng seemed even more ruthless than the one who destroyed the Lu clan in the past. Mao Wuxiao took a deep breath and directly took out a jade strip and threw it to Ning Cheng. "This is my Mao clan's Karma Spirit technique. Dao friend Ning, you should be able to use it now. Killing people is just a matter of nodding your head. Dao friend Ning has pushed my Mao clan too far. At worst, the fish dies and the net splits." Ning Cheng didn't pay any attention to Mao Wuxiao's words and sent his spiritual consciousness into the jade strip. Soon, he understood the cultivation method in the jade strip in his hand. It was the 12 secret words mantra. Ning Cheng didn't know how many branches of the karma cultivation method there were, but he felt sure that the 12 secret words mantra was the same as the big and small phaseless cultivation method. It was a part of the karma cultivation method, or rather a branch. He had heard of the 9 secret words mantra before, but now he saw the 12 secret words mantra in this place. Ning Cheng put away the 12 secret words mantra and spoke with a calm tone. Also, Dao friend you use great phaseless cultivation method. Dao friend you came with me. Although he left, he asked me to take back his cultivation method. Since he has cooperated with me, I can't help but respect his words. If Mao Wuxiao hadn't reached Dao unification, he would have already spat out a mouthful of blood. If Ning Cheng had asked for these things, he probably wouldn't have given them to him. At worst, they would have fought to the death. But now that he had given so much, would all his previous efforts go to waste? You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.